You're watching Experience Comic Culture and Sales, streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
Phillies! 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 Fighting Phils! Go Phils! 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 Phillies! Philadelphia Phillies! Ah, Phillies. Ah, so good, so good. Oh, wait, I forgot. We sell comics, trademark. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Fat Jack's Comicrypt. I first want to say hello to Mr. Bishop, first one in the chat. For that, Mr. Bishop, you get a no prize. Be on the lookout for your no prize as soon as I pull it out of my subconscious. I'm alone. I mean, existentially, personally, yeah, I mean, that's not a big surprise. But I mean more literally right now. This is one of the very few times that I'm sitting in this shop by myself. No Jason. He's off on his glorious cruise or wherever the hell he is. I mean, thankfully, I have all of my friends here like Chuck and Death. I got the little stunt double stand-in for Jason, my boy the Tick hanging out. But I guess more importantly, I do have my sort of God voice, super producer, the sequel, JD. Hey, JD, how you doing?
Welcome, listeners.
Here's the great thing about the synchronicity of life. I whined and complained about loneliness, and my special guest, before I even had a chance to tease him, he just showed up on time. I'm talking about none other than Lord Zanin himself. That is right. Zanin!
Hello, my friend.
Hey, buddy.
Sorry I'm late.
Straight from the dark, dark jungles of the New York Comic Con. We got Lord Zanin with us. Please, man, take a seat. Get comfortable.
Man, I feel like I'm in the middle of a season of
What's up,
TV
Fred?
show 24.
Oh, yeah? Why's that?
It's a long story.
Yes, JD. He is in the shop. Wait. Is it a good story?
Oh, yeah, it's an interesting story.
Okay. All right, then. I mean, would you be willing to tell it?
Absolutely.
All right. Okay. Well, here, please. Are you comfortable with that seat, or do you want my stool?
No, this is fine.
Do you feel better with the?
Ooh,
right.
This is comfortable.
Yeah. That's. Hey, you're the special guest. I gave you. Now, the one thing that does suck, it does look like you're sitting on. Like you look really like short. Yeah.
It's cool with me.
But it's okay in a way, especially if I got to stand up a little. The composition's really nice because like I'm kind of like on the up, and so there's this diagonal kind of line between you and I.
It's all about filmmaking.
Yeah, but every now and again, you got to make sure everyone sees your sexy face, you know, because I don't know how many people are going to be watching. We got Fred hanging out with us.
Hey, Fred.
We got Mr. Bishop. He was the first one in the chat, and then obviously we got our super producer, the sequel, JD.
Hey, JD.
Because I think Kyle is in Baltimore or something like that.
Oh, well, it's a heavy NFL day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll be surprised. I'm really happy you're here because there might be a possibility, but within like an hour or two, it'll be you, me, and JD.
Cool. I'm sure the baseball playoffs and the Eagles game will preempt a lot of things.
Dude, man, Phillies, brother. Phillies!
You know, I didn't see either game.
Man.
I only heard like secondhand that they won.
I mean, let's be honest. Who let the Phillies in the postseason? Titans are back. Ooh, wait. It looks like Kyle might be in the chat. He just got done running the live stream for the 2022 International Edgar Allan Poe Festival.
Cool.
It's pretty intense.
Well, hey, Kyle.
So you know, we got a little who's who of live stream stuff.
Cool. I've seen a plethora of that over the weekend.
Okay. So you're like really like beat up. We can tease it. Don't tell the full story yet. So for anyone who's not aware, Zanin is coming back. You spent 3 days at the New York Comic Con.
3 days, and before we get into anything,
Sure.
Terrell wanted me to put it out there, just like officially. He was at New York Comic Con. I did run into him on Thursday and Friday.
Okay.
I did not see him yesterday because we were in 2 separate buildings. But yeah, Terrell was at New York Comic Con.
For anyone who isn't familiar with who Terrell is an OG Fat Jacks employee. He is a very important character to the mythos of the Fat Jacks Comicrypt. And I love Terrell. Once he moved out to the suburbs, we never really saw him again.
Well, to his credit, he was with his wife and kid.
Oh, good. He's a good family man.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
But he was rather upset because the whole operation of Funko Pop was just like bizarre. It was absolutely bizarre.
Terrell is the guy who had such a Funko Pop addiction. And his wife challenged him and said, by the way, I hid 3 random Funko Pops from your collection. If you can tell me which 3 are missing, I will never complain about how much money you spend and how much space our house is taken up of Funko Pops. I'm not going to bury the lead because I'm pretty sure most of you can guess. He wasn't able to even figure out what 1 out of the 3, let alone all 3. At the same time, I think her threat was toothless because he still buys lots of.
I think he said he got rid of some of them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he still has a slight addiction.
Yeah, yes, he quite does. Speaking of addictions, don't fret, don't fear. We will attempt to sell comic books tonight. But I'll give a little heads up. A lot of this is going to be horror-oriented, Halloween season-oriented, and because I have no idea if anything I do is successful enough, we're going to talk about a bunch of new titles that just came out either this week or the past couple weeks. I caught up on some books. I wanted to get Zanin's impressions on some stuff. But yeah, you're going to see up here, there is a bunch of books that are actual new titles.
Speaking of new titles,
yeah,
I went to the panel for Frank Miller Presents, Ronin 2. And did you know that Dan DiDio was editor-in-chief of that organization?
It's Miller and DiDio.
Yes.
Like they're in bed together, playing footsie.
One thing I have to say, he looks much better now that he's got pushed out of DC.
DiDio does?
Yes.
Okay.
He was more spirited in a good way. But I went to the panel and they presented the audience with some limited edition gimmick to promote the publishing company and their upcoming titles.
Okay.
And I now present this to you. This is the Frank Miller Presents Fedora.
Oh my God. Yes. Life is so much better now. This is so good.
And they took a picture of the audience all wearing the hats.
Okay.
And Frank Miller remarked, now with the lights down, you all look like a dark army.
Yeah, it's kind of scary. In fact, I gotta be honest, if I walked into a room and saw let's just say 100 people all wearing this, I'd walk the hell right back out. I'm not hanging out in that room. Not just that, can you imagine the glare coming off?
That's why they turned down the lights.
Yeah, good Lord, I'm blind people. Mr. Bishop, don't worry, we will get to comic books. Again, it's a little bit more lackadaisical. I'm even more excited by this whole story you're gonna share with us at some point.
I'll preface it by saying, last night I discovered that SEPTA ceased its midnight train from Trenton to Philadelphia.
No.
Yes.
Okay, so you don't have to say anything, but I'm getting somebody got abandoned and stranded in Trenton.
Yes.
Oh my God, this is gonna be good. All right. Maybe not comics related, but don't worry, we sell comics. Well, we don't always talk comics.
In a way, it was comics related.
Okay.
Because I was coming back from New York Comic Con.
Okay.
And I attended the panel for Wednesday on Netflix.
All right.
Which, incidentally, Wendell and Christie is in the the show.
Yeah, she plays Lucifer.
Yeah.
Yeah, many people online whined and complained about gender swapping.
Well, dude, first of all, I didn't know that she was in the show.
Oh, okay.
Second of
You
all,
watched it yet?
no, not Sandman. Wednesday.
Oh,
Wednesday Addams.
Oh,
The Tim Burton show.
my apology. So Gwendolyn Christie from Lucifer,
And
Sandman, and,
yes.
and Game of Thrones, Brand of Tarth that everyone got mad at for some reason. I wonder why. So she's in the Wednesday show.
Yes.
And who is she playing in the Wednesday show?
Wednesday goes to some sort of away school, like an academy.
Okay.
Or,
Like a prep school?
Yeah, like
boarding school?
like for odd teens.
Got it. Okay.
And Gwendolyn Christie is the principal of the academy.
Cool. Good for her.
And just watching them on stage, I didn't notice before, but she's a very tall woman.
Oh, no, she's a super tall woman. But real quick, Mr. Ebner, welcome to the show. Thank you so much. Eagles up 7-0.
Awesome.
Yeah.
My day just gets better and better.
Well, I can't wait to talk about it. They started,
But Gwendolyn Christie was like taller than anybody else in the cast and the production crew.
No, that's why she looked like such an imposing like Lucifer. She just stood above everybody. I mean, she towered over the dude who played Sandman, which, knowing like the way actors work, I'm pretty sure he was about 5'4" and just had a really huge head.
Well, she was very good in the show. I liked her role.
Yeah. Now, you finished the Sandman series?
Yes.
Okay, I still haven't watched the bonus episode yet.
Okay, it's very good.
Because I think I got really depressed by the news that Netflix thinks that we didn't watch it properly because we didn't all binge it and finish it in one weekend instead of savoring it, watching an episode or two.
First of all, it's a very creative show. There's a lot of intellectual that goes into the making of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you noticed this, but every ending credits was unique to the show itself. They're all different. The background animation, yes, where the ending credits are all different.
I guess I never
for every 11 episodes.
Because I guess I just like either stopped it or I skipped to the next episode.
Oh, I watched the credits because I was mesmerized by the animation.
Wow, man. Okay. Now I feel like I missed out on something. It's kind of like when the streaming services skip over the final like little scene in a Rick and Morty. Yeah, post credits. It's like, why are you doing that? They're like, you have the option to press the button and skip the credits. I'm like, I'm lazy. The remote's over there. I thought the whole point of streaming is just stall and just blends into each other.
And laziness with a remote is exactly how I got into Game of Thrones.
Yeah. By the way, we're not gonna get into it. I'm digging House of the Dragon.
I am too.
Oh, good, man. Because every time I mention that, everyone's like,
I think one of the basic differences between Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon is House of the Dragon is allowed more to just blossom.
Right.
As far as like dialogue, plot placing, and introduction of characters.
Right. Like I love, and again, there's for anyone who hasn't watched the House of the Dragon, there's a bunch of time jumps that occur to allow for like more, for whatever, Hey, Mr. Holschutz, Sam! Oh, wait. I'm assuming because Sam's excited about it, the Eagles got an interception.
Oh, cool.
Dude, this is what this show's going to pretty much be.
Man, good thing the Phillies aren't playing tonight, too.
Oh, no. No. My heart can't take it. I mean, I'm shocked. I got to bed the past 2 nights. Please! Oh, yeah. Wait, comics, too.
So, I guess you were here on Friday during the game.
Yeah.
That must have been awesome.
I'm so glad I didn't shut it off in anger. But trust me, because the game was occurring. I was listening to it on the radio, and every time a customer wasn't around, I would start cursing. I'd be like, "You bleep, losers! You losers!" Like I totally did all of the ridiculous, overly passionate Philadelphia thing that I always tell myself I'm not going to do. I always want to believe I'm somehow above it all. And every time I become like an animal. I get so emotionally invested.
Well, good for them. For me personally, they're a much better team than I initially thought.
JD, that's a good joke. And how often have you run into people? Did you enjoy Lord of the Rings? Forget the books. Just like, did you dig the movies?
Not exactly.
Okay. But did you ever hear the whole, like, anyone who like hated the movies, the thing to always somehow discredit the movies is why did the Sam and Frodo just like fly on the eagle?
Yes, I have heard that.
Like, it's a conversation that no one should have, if we're just being very honest. And I have a lot of thoughts on why. I think a lot of people have a misunderstanding of literature and the art form of the epic saga.
It was also driven by commerce. You get paid more per word back in those days than you did for content.
Yeah. And hey, did we ever ask the question, maybe the Eagles are racist and they really didn't want hobbits to be on their backs? Okay? Why do we somehow think that all these fantasy characters are somehow like really like open-minded and progressive? It's a very high probability the Eagles are real ASS holes, you know? Just saying. And, hey, that's all we do here. We just ask questions. We don't editorialize. We don't try to manipulate. We just ask questions. Speaking of asking questions, God, Zane, thank God for being here, because this is off the rails already in a way that I don't even know if I can do this with Jason. Oh, by the way, you weren't here for, this is the Jason stunt double Tick.
Okay.
So anytime you want to like make fun of Jason, or you want to say something that makes Jason cry, say it to Tick.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, nice suit, Jason.
Oh, see, there we go. All right. Good stuff. So, and Fred, you are correct. The Eagles hate the Giants, not the Hobbits. I'm just saying the Eagles never said how they feel about the Hobbits. In fact, didn't we not know that the Hobbits existed for a long period of time? Maybe the Eagles are just very uncomfortable with the new, you know, the novelty, the other. Again, just asking questions. Are the Eagles racist? And when we say Eagles, we're not talking about the Philadelphia Eagles. We are definitely talking about the Tolkien, Lord of the Rings Eagles. Where if you're a white wizard, you'll always get a ride.
Wow, that's a deep statement. But comics.
Oh, I gotta tell you, man, I am punchy. Like, I was in a terrible mood in the beginning, and then Marshall came. What's up, Robot Marshall? And I got in this weird punchy mood, and then like I was kind of chill, and then you showed up, and I'm back into being a punchy mood.
Well, let's change course and get into comic books.
Okay, Mike, look, Zanin is better at my job than I am. Thank you, Zanin. Oh man, I can't get up and be. I guess I got to take the door off to get into this. All right, so real quick, I imagine everyone who's watching it knows how this works. Yeah, claim sale show. Claim it in the chat. If you have any questions on how this works, if you're outside the area and need us to ship, let us know, and we'll tell you all the information. Because really, let's just get into the comics. Now, later, let's not miss our break. Okay, we got almost a half hour. So after we talk about some of the books that are up here, I do have a small box full of like horror-oriented issues from like late Silver Age, Bronze Age, stuff we've done before.
Awesome.
You know, stuff. We'll do them for like $1, $2, you know, stuff like that. We'll have some fun. All right, here we go. Oh, okay, Fred. All right, you know what? Let's just get into it because Fred brought it up. All right. So, have you ever read the Silver Coin books before?
No,
like, is that
not.
something you're not familiar with? Okay.
No.
So, what we have up here is, what we got? 2, 4, 6. We got 7 issues. Now, we don't have the entire series, but here's a good thing about the Silver Coin series. Each issue is done by a different creative team, and it's a completely different story. And it's a self-contained story. You know, horror anthology is sort of the Silver Coin shtick. But again, it's one story per issue. the thing that kind of connects the entire series is a demonic silver coin. Like it's an inciting artifact or element to each narrative.
Didn't DC do something like that? Like about 6 years ago?
Give me more. Like,
Walt Simonson did like a standalone graphic novel about a
like
silver coin
like
through
a
time.
Judas coin? Is it called the Judas coin?
Maybe that was it.
Hmm.
And it features Batman. I think Two-Face is in it also. But it's different stories at different times based around this coin.
Huh. The Judas coin is like a title that jumps up in my head. Like I
think that was the title.
Okay, I was not aware that that's what the conceit was. But the conceit with the Silver Coin series is just to tell as horrific of a single issue story as you possibly can, and just make sure that a silver coin shows up at some point.
Oh, I didn't know it was a horror cut.
Oh no, it's brilliant. In fact, I read a few of the early issues, then I lost track for a little bit, but then I came back with issue 11.
Awesome.
I've really fallen for James Tinian IV's creator-owned horror work. And he did an issue with the artist Michael Walsh, and it's all about a diner. And yeah, let's check out that cover real quick. So I read that and went, oh, hell yeah, I gotta like reread these books and like get back into it. So again, each issue is done by, so this is issue number 1 of the Silver Coin series called The Ticket by Chip Zdarsky and Michael Walsh. Now again, sometimes the same artist pops up, because Michael Walsh also did the James Tinian book. But I'm pretty sure every issue, I mean, sometimes certain writers, I think, pop back up again, but almost all of them are. So that was Chip Zdarsky. And then here's issue 2 called Girls of Summer with Kelly Thompson. Maybe Michael Walsh draws all the issues because Michael Walsh's name shows up again. If he does, that's actually good because his art's really good. Yeah, there's Michael Walsh again. This is issue 6, a story called High Score, written by Joshua Williamson. And then issue 9, The Dancer, written by Vida Ayala. If I'm mispronouncing that last name, I apologize. As I said, issue 11, that was the James Tinian issue.
That's an awesome cover.
Yeah, right. Oh, hey, zombie Nazis. Man, can't go wrong with zombie Nazis as a horror trope. Dead Snow. Did you ever see that horror movie? There's even a sequel, Dead Snow 2.
No.
It's like teenagers, like I think it's in Denmark, and they go out to like camp, in some cabin in the woods, obviously to like, bone and do drugs. And somehow like Nazis that are buried underneath become zombies and they come out of the snow. It's actually it's like a comedy in some ways.
They're slaughtered.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
Who made the movie?
A bunch of Denmark filmmakers. It's not American. It's from, I'm pretty sure it's Danish.
Because there was an incident with that trapping.
Okay.
That actually happened. Not in the snow, but it was during the summer.
Okay.
It's an infamous murder case where teenagers go out in the woods, and I think maybe 3 of them were murdered, but 1 person survived.
All right.
And they said it was like some tall, mysterious person came in and like slaughtered everybody in the camp. But it was later hinted that the survivor was actually the person that killed everybody.
Right. But, which seems to be like the most reasonable explanation.
But the prosecution did something like untoward in the case, and it was dismissed.
When was this?
1962.
Oh, okay. So this wasn't that long ago.
No.
Stephanie Phillips.
Maybe 1958.
And issue 13, Johnny Christmas. There you go. So all of these are pretty much like cover price. They're like $4, in that row. So it was 1962?
Maybe it was 1960.
All right, 1960?
Yes.
All right. Oh, wait. Hold up. I apologize. I have to always remember that there are people maybe sometimes claiming things. We did get a confirmation from from both JD and Kyle. Yup, it was called the Judas coin.
Okay.
And yes, Fred, I was a fool who didn't realize it until I was about halfway through the books that Michael Walsh does do all the art in every issue, which is good because his art is excellent. In fact, Zane, pop one open, man. Grab a silver coin up there. Take it open. Take a look in.
I like the whole premise.
Fred, that would be my excuse too. Yeah, some tall guy, like taller than me, he did it. He had a shirt. He was in the corner. He was doing a thing. Yeah, him. It was him the whole time.
Oh, this looks good.
Yeah.
Oh, I like this.
Cool. Find a good like page and show the audience. Ooh. There we go. It's also very gruesome and gory. Yeah, there we go. All right. Good stuff.
I'll have to get this when it's a treat.
Zanin, if you ever get in trouble and you need a fall guy, just go, Nazis did it! And just leave it at that. Fred, good looking out, brother. Yeah, Mr. Ebner coming in. All right, Mr. Ebner starting out real fast. All right, so just so we're clear, Mr. Ebner, I just want to reiterate, the great thing is, even though we do not have the complete series, you do not need to read these in any order. You don't need to know anything that happened from one issue to the other. It is just really fun, single-issue horror stories that a demonic silver coin shows up in.
The artwork looks awesome.
All right. Oh, yeah, we're up to issue 15. That is right, yeah. No, wait, here's issue 14, The Bad Year, by Hornsack Pichetsot. I'm an ignorant fool. Can you pronounce that name? I feel terrible.
I cannot, but
Are you gonna try?
it is porn sack.
Okay. All right. We try.
I have to wonder if it's a pseudonym.
Or no, maybe he's like, I don't know, Ramin, Oh, Mr. Evans grabbing number 14 as well. All right. Cool. All right, buddy. Okay, we're off to a nice start. Yeah, so Fred, Zdarsky, he wrote issue 1. Do you have any idea if he wrote any other issues? Just asking for a friend. All right, Mr. Ebner. Oh yeah, by the way, the one thing I never want to forget, other than like the business, telling people how this all works, because you say it every week, you start to get bored. Like you're just like,
Or you do it without even thinking.
I'm not there yet. I was always hoping that would be Al. Al would always, and the ghost of Al just doesn't talk. Kind of like Al. But yeah, like doing it, I hate. It's just like I gotta keep repeating these like rote things, but it's important. But there is one thing that I forgot to talk about at the beginning of the show that I need to bring up before we get too far into the weeds.
Okay.
Now I want to reiterate, my boy in the basement. He's gotten closer, but I don't want anyone to forget that we want music suggestions for Volume 15 of the Latchkey Manifesto Mixtape Experiment, and I will start it here tonight in honor of Zanin being in New York. I will say the song I'm going to choose is NYC is a Graveyard by the Moldy Peaches. There we go. All right, so for anyone who wants to participate, if you haven't seen us do this before, just give us a song suggestion. The only reason the song won't show up is because my boy in the basement literally can't find it, or it's already shown up on a mix.
This is cool. I already have my suggestion. And it's based on the fact that, even though the Eagles are playing the Cardinals, next Sunday, or just this entire week, is Dallas week. So we all get up for that, Eagles-Cowboys rivalry. And my suggestion along those lines is Beers, Steers, and Queers by Revolting Cocks.
Ooh, good one. All right.
It's a big love letter to Texas.
Revolting Cocks. Yeah. Real quick, Fred, thank you so much. I was not aware of this. The Silver Coin series was actually created by a bunch of creators just hanging out at a con. I guess Oh. All right. Mr. Ebner's coming in with Back in the New York Groove song. All right. Do you know who does that song?
No, I don't.
Mr. Ebner, do you have a particular artist or band like version of that song, or is it only one version? I'll just write it down just in case. I've embarrassed myself a few times by misinterpreting. Like probably Back in the New York Groove, and then song is the band's name for all I know. Back in the New York Groove. Yeah, but so Silver Coin, like, which makes so much sense. Like, you got a bunch of creators just like hanging out at a con, probably getting drunk, and they start throwing out these like single issue horror ideas. Like, this is the craziest idea. And the great thing about those kinds of like stuff is you lean into tropes, you lean into archetypes. You know, you don't need to be like, here's two teenagers hanging out. Yeah, they're trying to make out, and then there's this thing happening outside, and then you throw in a fun twist. It doesn't have to blow your world. It doesn't have to change, you know, your concept of life in the universe. But just give me a good story, and then you get a good artist that draws good horror, like this guy Michael Walsh. By the way, Fred, Michael Walsh, anything I would know him from prior to this? All right, so here we go. Oh, so Mr. Ebner, okay, so New York Groove Song by Ace Frehley. All right. You familiar with that song?
No, I am not.
All right. I am not. I wonder if Roland is. He's a weirdo. And then we also got, hey, Fred, you know. Yeah. Of course, when you don't have to stress out on an entire 6-issue run, and you could give the artist, like, here's my 22-page script. It was the easiest script I wrote. I wrote it on the toilet. And then you're like, whenever you get done with that issue, throw it in the series. And suddenly it becomes issue 19, you know?
Well, it's an image book, so you have to wonder.
Hey, Lyle, what's up?
Do they write full scripts like DC, or do they write synopsis like Marvel?
Man, I don't know. If you got a good artist, just write a paragraph and just go for it.
Right.
You know, just like have a day. Like, I'm rereading all of Doug Munch and Bill Sienkiewicz's Moon Knight.
Okay.
And I dig it. It's fun, good nostalgia buttons and that. But it's weird how, I guess I didn't realize, it isn't until really late in the series, I think it's around issue somewhere in 24, 26, when Bill Sienkiewicz actually starts to plot with Munch, you know, the stories for Moon Knight, because he was getting bored as an artist. And suddenly everything changes. Like his art style, the kinds of stories that they're doing. Again, like, you know, Bill Sienkiewicz, you're not going to be like, oh, he's a novelist or he's a writer per se, but visual artists are storytellers.
That would have marked about the time that he did start to change his style, like 1982, 83. Yeah,
like near the end of the Moon Knight series, before he then left the book to go on to do other things, which
I think he moved on to New Mutants after that.
That would have been around there, and man, like the Demon Bear story, like you just see this evolutionary jump in his art. And it's amazing because I guess for me, my memory was a little foggy about when he kind of moved away from kind of his adoration towards Neil Adams and started to actually become Bill Sienkiewicz. And it took a little bit longer than I think I initially remembered, you know, but.
Yeah, then he followed with the Electro series.
Oh, yeah, but that was. When was Electro Assassin? 1986? 87?
Yeah, I think that was about that time.
Okay, because like Stray Toasters and stuff, that would have been like 88? That was much later?
Yes.
Stray Toasters is like peak Sienkiewicz. Like the amount of people I recommended that book to, and if they could throw it in my face while on fire, they would. They were quite mad at me. And I went, you don't have any taste. Speaking of taste, all right, let's talk about. Okay, before we get into the ooky spooky stuff, I just wanted to point this book out for anyone who's not aware of it. Are you aware of the Minor Threats series from Dark Horse Comics?
Is it based on the group Minor Threat?
No, it isn't.
Okay.
Okay, it's just they're called Minor Threats. Let me just
wait. Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Did you pick up this?
I did not. I was a bit skeptical about the whole premise.
Okay. Tell me what the premise is. And I'm curious. I've read both issues.
Okay.
And I got to tell you, I'm really into it.
Oh, really?
Yes, but I want to know, because I'm pretty sure the premise will be how. Just tell me what the premise is.
Okay, it's based on a group of villains who they're like, I guess, B-list or C-list villains.
Let's call them D-list.
D-list villains.
Okay.
And they all band together to stop one superhero who has become so angered and wants revenge on them, starts killing them.
Okay. That is the premise. But just to add a little, there's nothing to spoil, okay? It is really in the execution. Now, it's written by Patton Oswalt and Jordan Bloom. And I was curious, and I love the Magnolia cover. And I flipped through, and I thought the art looked pretty decent. So I was like, yo, I really like Patton Oswalt. Let me just give it a try. And at first I realized it's quintessential superheroes. Okay, so the premise is that the Joker, Stickman, kills Kid Dusk, and that causes Batman to flip the Insomniac to lose his mind and start beating, like just brutal, not killing yet, but brutalizing just all the villains.
So losing his sidekick just pushed him into another psychological realm.
Right. And the Justice League, or whatever analog name that they are that I can't remember, the Protectors, the Imperium, the Warrior Rulers, you just don't know it yet.
Take your pick.
Yeah. They are going around and rounding up every single villain, taking out every villain. They're shutting down the city because they want to prevent Batman from literally killing somebody, and everything that they know as the public trust towards superheroes, that kind of, it all goes away. The moment one of them crosses the line, it's all over. Okay? So again, it leans into a view of superheroes, a little bit of an Alan Moore Watchmen thing, to be distrust, that they have their own best interests at heart to a certain degree.
Now, the way that you explain it, it also sounds very political. It sounds like a foreign ambassador who is going on a killing spree, and the U.S. government trying to cover it up.
Well, yeah, because again, if they do cross that line, it's all over in a lot of ways. Because again, let's be honest, they're not elected officials. They don't, superheroes. There's tons of stories about this kind of stuff. But if they really existed in the real world, it would be a little maybe more like The Boys.
I would say superheroes are unofficial U.S. ambassadors.
Okay, all right.
It is a U.S. creation.
Yeah. But what makes it it's a decent concept. And so what happens is this D-list group of villains, who each issue, at least so far, focuses on a new, the perspective from one of those characters. And they decide, because before the Justice League comes and just wipes them out, let's go find the Joker and kill him first. So Batman doesn't even have to step over the line. All right? They'll do it for him. Except for the fact that they are a true group of losers. It's sort of like if, Toyman teamed up with Puff Adder from the Serpent Society, who teamed up with Mento, who teamed up with Madame Mask. I don't know. No, even more D-list than that, Because here's the thing. It's funny.
Well, it's Patton Oswalt.
Right.
I expected that.
But what I loved about it, because I thought it was just going to be a joke book. But really the premise and the way it plays out, there's a lot of guilt and regret and generational trauma. And it's kind of it's only 2 issues. But I'm into it. I'm digging it. And there's a good like ticking time, bomb quality to it. Again, you have this. They're like trying to find the stick man or whatever, but also at the same time, there's these flashbacks to when they really realize how big the loses. Like there's almost like a mystery. Like almost like an identity crisis thing where like the Stickman Joker character, all the villains get together and he's like, nah, not you.
It kind of reminds me of
villain mystery, man. Yeah.
In a way, when Tom King did in Batman the Joker Riddler War.
Yeah.
And the only person who was instrumental in bringing an end to it was Kite Man.
Yes. It was the great evolution of Kite Man that Tom King did. Speaking of Tom King, real quick, not ooky spooky, but I want everyone to be aware, the new issue of the brand new Tom King series in the Batman mythos just came out this week. Gotham City Year 1, Issue 1 by Tom King and Phil Hester, starring Bruce Wayne's grandparents and Slam Bradley.
Have you read it?
Yeah, I loved it.
Oh, cool.
Now, in all fairness, it's a setup issue. Like it's just setting up the players, the mystery, and then we'll see where we go from there. Like you're not gonna get to the final issue and be like, oh my god, I've never read a comic like this before. But Tom King is brilliant. The thing I love though. And again, I'm fine that they did this. On the credits, this comic contains language of a racially offensive nature and may not be suitable for all age groups. Its inclusion is an intentional creative choice intended to highlight the fact that language of this type was frequently deployed in past decades and remains in use today, even as contexts evolve. Readers for whom such language is triggering or hurtful should be advised.
I wonder whose decision that was.
Even if it was Tom King, I'm fine with that because the thing I like about it is this whole story is about race. Like the time, place that it takes. Like again, when you read it, you'll see what I'm talking about. Like it's definitely like Tom King. Really, I don't know, man. It feels like the other history of the DC universe, kind of like.
And I appreciate that because I feel as though writing for past time periods, the work should be authentic to the time period itself. Mm-hmm. So nothing should be censored.
Right.
It's like Mad Men.
Yeah.
It wasn't censored. The behavior and the language was not censored at all. It was just indicative of the time period. I watched AMC's Anne Rice
Interview with the Vampire.
Okay. And the racism is just out there.
Good.
Unbridled, uncensored, and no disclaimer. Mm-hmm. It's just that what you see on the screen was indicative of the time period.
Yeah. Now, I don't fault anyone for putting a disclaimer and giving some context because we have reached a point. There are a lot of, at least on social media and the internet, that people have a lot of difficulty with reading comprehension and acknowledging context of works of art. And so forth. If there is a racist character in a movie, it doesn't make the filmmaker or writer of the book or movie or whatever a racist. But at this point, we do need, and I'm fine with God, because again, they don't say the flat out like, but they use terms that people would have casually said in the 1930s to describe a certain minority, group of people, especially in a, the slums of Gotham or whatever you want to call it. They toss around a couple words, again, not ones that'll be like, like corporate DC, which is like, no, like you, like not even a million years can you dare do that. But there's a couple terrible words that but don't have that same stab feeling, I guess.
Okay.
That are tossed around very, frequently.
Cool.
And
that's on my poll list. I look forward to reading it.
Dude, I can't wait. On that note, we've barely sold anything. but it's time for a break. And we will attempt to sell more comics as soon as we get back on the other side. See y'all in a little bit.
Did you know that every experience show, including some exclusive content, streams on Twitch? Check it out, twitch.tv/the_exp. Or just scan that QR code.
Comic Collectibles is here for you every Wednesday with AR Comics for two very important reasons: to sell you rare, one-of-a-kind comics that you'll love, and to confuse AR with old man talk. You see, Rex and John are, how should I put this, ancient as the roots of the mountains. So every week, Rex and John fill in AR in yet another area of pop culture that he missed because he's too young, just didn't have the time, or just really doesn't care about. It's a real public service they provide. Come buy some super rare and unique comics, while old men explain long-dead sci-fi shows to a younger man making that confused puppy face. Every Wednesday from 6 to 8 Eastern with Rex, John, and AR Comics. Comic Collectibles on The Experience. Comic culture and sales.
There's something for every imagination at your local comic shop. Visit comicshoplocator.com to find a store near you.
Are you a comic creator? Are you a publisher? Do you make a comic book product? Do you own a retail store? Do you do something I haven't thought of? Who are you and what do you do? Let us know by advertising on The Experience and invite our viewers to patronize your product. Message the EXP on social media or email us the_EXP@yahoo.com for more details.
Hi, I'm Hedwig Hale, author of She Bites. You're watching The Experience.
I mean, just,
Hey.
yeah. We're back. We're here. Guess what we were talking about during the break? It wasn't comics. Yo, Gary, what's up, Mr. Pro?
Hey,
Dave.
Gary.
They're hanging out in NYC.
Cool.
Yeah, because obviously they wanted to make sure Lord Zanin knows that.
Cool. Gary,
Give you a heads up.
were you at the convention?
I'm gonna speak for Gary and say no.
Okay.
No. That's. Oh, thank you, Mike. Thank you. Mike gave us the Eagles update.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, 14-0. 14-0. All right, now the Experience, because at some point I can only look at the comments so much without getting distracted. I don't know if it's JD and Kyle, so we're just going to call them Gile. Yeah, Gile. So Gile is our producer tonight.
Okay.
Even though JD is the one, the ones and twos or the ones and zeros. Or, I don't know. What are the dials for a producer? It doesn't matter. Okay.
Knobs.
Yeah, the knobs. All right, so we are going to attempt to sell some comics. We talked about our minor threats. Okay, I just want to let everyone know, just because I don't want to get anyone too excited. We have this beautiful hardcover of Batman, Harley, and Ivy. This collects by Paul Dini. It's mostly all of the kind of Batman animated adventures series kind of style. Batman, Harley, and Ivy 1 and 3, Batman Adventures Annual 1, Batman Adventures Holiday Special, Batman. It's just a lot of Batman and stuff like that, all pertaining to Harley and Ivy. Here's the issue. This book is damaged. All right? There's a tear right there along the spine. Okay? But bear with me. Most of the damage is, in fact, actually done to the book jacket. There's not as much damage as you might think to the spine itself. There is a little nick right there, but this book is perfectly fine. Again, just tiny little bit of damage. But this is a book that technically is retailed at, I believe, $24.99? $24.99. So despite that little bit of damage, if you are interested in this hardcover, we're going to do $14.99 tonight. After that, I'll talk to Mike, see what he feels more comfortable pricing things at.
Nice Bruce Timm cover.
Dude, it's gorgeous, right? And that's a painting, too. That's not even just like, it's just, Paul Dini, Bruce Timm. Again, this is the Batman, Harley, and Ivy, the deluxe edition. Gorgeous. Because it is Halloween, we do have a beautiful DC Comics Millennium Edition of House of Secrets, number 92. The Swamp Thing makes his dramatic debut. And who illustrated this issue?
Bernie Wrightson.
Bernie effing Wrightson. This is a Very Fine Plus at $8. That Very Fine Plus is primarily because there's a little ding right there near the bottom of the book. And don't worry, do I have more Bernie Wrightson coming up later? I don't think so, because I think somebody bought them all before. Nah. Yeah, I know you're feeling that.
Yeah.
Marie Severin.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the interior of this, it's not the cover, but I think the interior is Wally Wood and who's the other guy? Doesn't matter. I can't remember. In the same way that I can't remember which of these have Ditko in them, because I can only keep up with so much.
Oh, I see Ditko covers.
Right? No, the Ditko, yeah. Or somebody aping. Do you think anyone was aping Ditko at the book? Oh yeah,
No.
Very Fine Plus at $8. That's right. Yeah.
No, this is pure Ditko.
You think so?
Yes.
Because that's what I was thinking too, but I couldn't get anything to actually validate that. Who was the woman on the cover model after? That was, you remember who?
Louise Simonson?
Louise Simonson, yes. And we had that beautiful, like the only, wait, Gary came in. Edwin Starr's War. All right. The one time we got some actual, this show got some industry cred. Oh, yeah, dude. Zane, show off books, man.
This Ditko cover is gorgeous.
It's nice, right?
Yes.
All right, well, here's the deal with, so the actual horror books that are up there, they're actually pretty pricey. But for the holiday spirit, sweet Halloween,
Oh, this is Jim Aparo.
I'm going to do half off on these books. So that's, what is that, Ghostly Tales?
Yes.
All right.
Number 72.
Number 72. What's the Fat Jack's price?
$10.
$10. So tonight, $5. Just so letting you know. In fact, Zane, just start showing them off. Just pick them out, show them off. People know.
Don't see the number on this, but this is another Ghostly Tales.
Okay.
And it kind of looks like Aparo, but with a different inker.
Hey, I'm not sure about that.
I don't recognize the art, though.
No, but that was the era where like a lot of them were pop. What was the price on that one?
This is $16.
All right, so that's $8 tonight. Don't worry, we have $1 and $2 horror comics. So but these are books that I could not make any cheaper, just because they have genuine value and they're pretty. They're all like in mid grade.
Yeah,
they're all in that like mid grade.
This one looks like fine at $16.
Cool. So that's $8 tonight. If you ever want to if you tilt the top towards, it helps with the glare. Just
Another one without a number. Fine at $14.
All right, so that's $7 tonight. That's another Ghostly Tales.
And dude, it looks like Ben Franklin on the cover.
Kind of does, doesn't it? Yeah. That's so good. Ben Franklin, back from the dead to steal your electricity.
But he's an Eagles fan.
He is. And yes, the experienced producer should be called Giles from now on. Wait.
That's a Jim Aparo.
That is definitely true. I'm trying to remember a concept. What's the... Like, many stories have done this, where, like, there's a role that somebody plays in, like, a group, and they always have the same name. Oh, in The Witcher, his horse is always called Roach. Yes, the experienced producer from now on will be the equivalent of the horse that Geralt of Rivia and the Witcher rides, and you will all be now known as Giles from this time forth. Forget JD or Kyle or anybody else out there. You are from now Giles the producer horse. You better believe. Fat Jack's Comicrypt. This stable of heels. By the way, man, anyone reading Do a Powerbomb?
Great Ditko cover.
Yeah. What's the price?
$10.
$10. So it's $5 tonight. $5 tonight. I'm pretty sure the only person who might have purchased these is hanging out in New York on the streets and not watching.
Now, this looks a little bit like Joe Staten.
Which one is it?
Ghostly Tales
Sure,
117.
Charlton?
Yes.
Charlton, okay.
$10.
Ghostly Tales. Oh, wow, yeah, that does have like a Staten vibe, right? All new Ghostly Tales.
All new.
You say it was $10?
$10.
So $5 tonight?
And this is Ghostly Tales 166.
All right.
I really do not recognize the art on this cover.
Oh, yeah, I'm trying to think, like,
And that is $10.
it almost looks like Paul Broderick pretending. Pat Broderick.
Yes, it does.
Right? It's kind of, I don't know. That was that era of Charlton. Wasn't he? Well, no, he was doing the Atlas stuff. A lot of those Charlton and Atlas people were like, there was like a crossover
Yes.
to a lot of that era because they were all like, didn't want to work for DC and Marvel or weren't getting work or they were too young.
Well, especially Pat Broderick. At that
Yeah.
time, he was breaking into the
He was
industry.
breaking into the industry, right? And that was primarily because, was he an assistant to Neil Adams?
Yes, he was.
I literally pulled that out of my ass. I actually had no idea if that was true or not. It just felt right.
All new Ghost Manor.
Ghost
Ditko
Manor.
cover.
All right. Nice.
$14.
So that's $7 tonight. All right. Some ooky spooky Halloween.
Here's another Ghost Manor. And this also is a Ditko cover.
Wait, time out. How would you feel if I told you there was an all-nude Ghost Manor? Would that be a book that you would be interested in?
It depends on who the artist was.
So not a nude Ghost of Ben Franklin? That's not a selling point?
If it was by Wallywood, yeah, I'd buy that.
Okay, so that's your threshold.
Yes.
You would purchase a comic book of a nude Ben Franklin ghost as long as Wally Wood, who is also a ghost, drew it.
Hey, he did such a great job after the death of Walt Disney. Yes, I would purchase that.
Okay, all right. Depends on who was in the house.
Ditko cover,
$12.
So $6 tonight if anyone's interested.
This really looks like Doctor Strange. The Many Ghosts of Dr. Graves.
Oh no, Dr. Graves. That is absolutely
Number 12.
That's a Steve Ditko concept. Kind of like what Steve Ditko always did whenever he would leave a Marvel book and he was pissed at Stan Lee, he would just create another character and be like, this is what the character would be like if Stan Lee wasn't in the room.
You're right.
And Dr. Graves is Dr. Oh my God.
$12.
Fred, man, I missed you, buddy. It's always good to have you around. Oh my key.
Oh, wow, he really looks like Doctor Strange here.
No, dude. No, right? No, it blew my mind. In fact, it almost feels like the magical Doctor Strange outfit. Like Steve Ditko is like, he looks like a dork. And that's Steve Ditko calling Doctor Strange a dork. He's like, he should have a business suit.
Number 6, $12.
So that's $6 tonight. But yeah, I'm convinced Dr. Graves, because that's Steve Ditko concept. It's like, F you, Stan. I'm going to do Doctor Strange. Except I'm going to call him Dr. Graves.
Well, it's like what he did with Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle was essentially the Amazing Spider-Man.
It was Spider-Man. Yeah. It was Spider-Man. And
Okay.
man, what's the what?
Tower of Shadows.
Oh, now we're into the Marvel.
Number 3.
Now, what do you think Marvel was aping at this point with the Tower of Shadows?
Definitely House of Mystery and House of Secrets.
Okay. Now, was Tower of Shadows the series? The series prior to it was called Chiller? No.
No, Tower of Shadows was
Always its
original.
own?
Yes.
Okay, so it never had that weird transition title?
No.
Okay. All right. Cool.
There was a second one too.
In fact, Tower of Shadows, we've sold it already. I don't have it. But Bernie Wrightson's first Marvel work was in Tower of Shadows number 7?
Yes.
Okay. Hey. You try to sell the same book for 2.5 years, you're gonna remember the number.
Okay, and this one is $15.
All right, so let's call it 7. Let's call it 7. $7. $7. Oh, that one definitely does have Wally Wood artwork. That's number 3, right?
Oh, cool. Yes.
Yeah, that's Wally Wood's in there. And that next one I think is a Marie Severin cover, but I don't know who does the interior.
Okay, this is number 4, and that's $19.
Okay. All right, so let's call that $8.
Oh, this is definitely a John Severin cover.
Real quick, Fred, you get the second no prize of the night. I have no idea how I'll get it to any of you, but you got it. So what is that? That's Towers. Oh, that's don't you dare accuse us of ripping off Richard Matheson.
Oh, Incredible Shrinking Man.
You got it. Instead of a spider? No. Who does he fight in the short story?
I believe it's the spider.
It's a spider, right?
Yes.
And so in this one we get a rat. Good fun. What's that priced at?
$19.
So let's call it 8. All right.
And that's the scary anthology.
And that's the scary. All right, so that's all of them.
That's very interesting about The Many Ghosts of Dr. Grace. I'll have to do some research on that because, dude, he looks exactly like Dr. Strange.
Zayden, please sit for a moment. I want everyone to see your beautiful mug instead of the back of your head as I tell you. I appreciate you doing research because I don't. I just kind of looked through it and assumed. I'm pretty sure Steve Ditko just went, "Hate you, Stan. I can totally do Dr. Strange better. Dr. Graves."
And Charlton, they were open to the idea of accommodating him for whatever he wanted to do.
I'm surprised it's not an Atlas book because probably because Charlton did it like 2 or 3 years prior.
Yeah, well, that was before Martin Goodman left Marvel.
Yeah, and Marvel fired his nephew for being a
chip.
The comic book industry is just so juvenile. Well, most industries are, if we're being very honest. Most people don't actually mature. Everyone ages, but very few people actually mature. All right, this is not going well. When's our next break? No, it's going well. Hey, I'm having a wonderful evening. Zayden, thank you very much for hanging out here.
Cool, I'm having a good time too.
I don't know if Mike isn't enjoying watching us barely sell any books. Why does Steve Ditko impersonation sound like a munchkin? I don't know, Fred. Why don't you ask Mr. A?
And he really had a passive-aggressive sort of behavior. And I can believe what he did with The Many Ghosts of Dr. Graves and Blue Beetle was his passive-aggressive shot at Stan Lee. One of his famous passive-aggressive shots was when he had an issue of Journey into Mystery that was inked by Vince Colletta. And he hated Vince Colletta. So he purposely, at the office, took the issue, balled it up, and threw it in the trash, and made sure that Stan Lee saw him do that.
I would probably argue Ditko's, and again, I hope this isn't offensive or anything like that, but he's probably on the spectrum of, maybe a touch of autism or, OCD or something. I mean, again, this was a man who lived objectivism and Randian baloney philosophy better than Ayn Rand could ever do. She was a mess. A woman who created a philosophy that I have complete disdain for. Outside of when I was 13 years old and thought the world revolved around my genitalia.
Well, what 13-year-old doesn't think that?
Thank you. That's kind of what I was implying. Or somebody, we don't have to go there. So, but Steve Ditko actually lived that philosophy better than almost anybody else.
He definitely lived for his art.
And I think he was a stubborn man who liked to cut his nose off despite his face, which I completely relate to, because that is the story of my life.
Yeah. And didn't he die at his art table?
Fred, right? Did Ditko die at his... I believe that's the myth, that's the story. A few artists have, like the great myth of Wally Wood, who not only committed suicide, but committed suicide at his art table. Now, I have no idea if that's true or not. But again, as John Ford once said, and many other people other than me have also said it, to the point where I don't even know if John Ford ever even said it, if you have the choice between the true story and the legend, you always tell the legend.
Well, there is a legend out there that
You got it, Fred.
hasn't been substantiated, and I tend to believe in it, was the mysterious donation to the Smithsonian of the original artwork for Amazing Fantasy number 15. I believe Steve Ditko gave it to the museum.
I absolutely believe that. Like, I still think Steve Ditko is actually a genuinely good human being. Like, his work really implies that he absolutely had morals and ethics. I mean, the philosophy he chose to filter those actions through, I have issue with, because most people cannot uphold those philosophical tenets or pillars. But one person I know of who actually like walked or talked the talk and walked the walk of objectivism and Ayn Randian lunacy was Steve Ditko. So, you know, I genuinely believe him to be a good person. And again, if you talk to anyone who knew him, like the stories about people who loved Alex Toth sounds like an abusive relationship. I mean, people were like, oh, I loved Alex. Oh my God, every time he slapped me and told me I was a failure and I'll never be as good as him. I was like, oh man, I love Space Ghost. You know, I never hear these stories about Steve Ditko. You know, like Howard Chaykin isn't writing a comic book all about how Steve Ditko is just a complete and utter, like, carnival barker who took advantage of everybody. Whether it's true or not, it's funny. I mean, Ed Brubaker didn't write an entire original graphic novel about how much of a raging lunatic Alex Toth was at the end of his career, just because there was no truth to some of those stories. Allegedly, I realize now, I have to throw out, whenever I talk about people, allegedly, I don't believe any of this.
Absolutely.
We're just riffing. Mr. Ebner, thank you for keeping us on track, which we're not. Yes, you do see Vengeance of Vampirellas. These are probably the two biggest issues of that 90s run. We have issue number 1, the beautiful gatefold cover with the red foil blood, and then we with Joe Quesada cover. And then Joe Quesada comes back for issue 25, and you also get even more red foil blood. Like, look at these. This is tasteful. That's a fun little gimmick. You know, just a little bit of blood, but there's so much negative space. And then you get to later in the 90s, which also, by the way, they're both titillating, but one is pornographic. You don't need me to point it out. But great art anyway. Vengeance of Vampirella, number 1, Very Fine Plus, $7, and number 25, high grade at $5. So there we go. I really got to get back on track, man. I don't know what happened to me. I wish I could say it was like 11 o'clock at night and there's an explanation for why I was so out of...
This was a good series.
That was a great series. How are you showing up, man?
Steve Rude. Great series. Highly recommend it.
Real quick, Fred, that is awesome. My boy, Fred Chamberlain. Yeah, I take ownership of him. You know, I've been grooming him for a while.
Okay.
You know,
$5.
But he there was always the story about Steve Ditko. Always took fan like letters. You know, you could actually just mail it to him. And he
$5.
wrote back to a lot of fans. And Fred here's bragging about the 4 reply letters that he received from our boy, Steve
Oh,
Ditko.
really?
Yes.
Wow, that's awesome.
And Mr. Ebner, yes, you got both of those vengeances. There you go.
Also $5.
Right. Good man, working off your debt. We all work off our debt, right? No, maybe not. All right, so yeah, those are the world's finest. Who wrote it? Because I know the artist Steve Nerud, who's awesome.
It says Gibbons.
Yeah, Dave Gibbons.
So,
Okay,
yeah.
he wrote it. Yeah, that was definitely Dave Gibbons. Where are they priced at? They're all 3 of them are high grade.
They're all $5.
They're all $5. That's $15. How about this? If anyone's interested in all 3 of the world's finest, we're gonna go 2 for 3. So instead of $15, it'll cost you $10. And Marshall, don't worry, buddy. I got your. Do you know the song OMD?
Yes.
Stay, the Black Rose, and the Universal Wheel?
Yes.
Okay.
1986.
Okay. That Marshall.
That was college for me.
Well, then Marshall is probably close to your age.
Nice choice.
What is this? One of the letters simply pointed out that I hadn't asked any questions, but sent a self-addressed stamped envelope. I am smirked. Okay. All right. So Fred got a. You're a bum, kid. You didn't even write me a letter.
What year did he write you, Fred?
We'll find out in a moment. And while we wait for Fred's reply. All right, how close are we to our next? Hey, Giles, is it 5:45? That's our next. Yeah, I think it's 5:45 is our next break. We'll wait for Giles to show up and do its job. And while we wait, let us show off a couple new books. Oh my God, Mr. Burroughs. All right, this is Xavier, you are so distracting.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm pretty sure somebody, I think it was Mr. Burroughs. I was probably gone now. I think somebody did ask about the Tomb of Dracula. Oh, I'm so sorry. Maybe not. Maybe yes. Oh my God, it was so far away.
$3.99.
I'm not doing well. Okay, so real quick. Oh yeah, it was Mr. Burroughs. That was a while ago. If you're still there, so sorry. So 5:45 is it? All right,
You
so
want me to set it aside for you?
just kind of show it off. It is a facsimile edition of Tomb of Dracula, #1. Those are the facsimiles that Marvel has been doing. So they are $3.99. They're not like some of the DC facsimiles that are like almost $8. And for anyone who's not aware of the Marvel facsimiles, they are a complete reprinting of the original issue, including the ads, the letters pages, everything.
Oh, cool. Look at the back cover, too.
Yeah, everything. I mean, back cover, everything. I give Marvel a lot of credit, and even at $3.99, it's very affordable, and good for them. So, Mr. Burroughs, if you're still watching, there it is. If not, I apologize. Hopefully, I'll see you on Wednesday. I'll make it up to you.
You want me to set it aside?
Yeah, take it off just in case. See you, Fred. Have a good one, man. Thanks for hanging out. Fred
Bye,
said
Fred.
that all the letters were during the last years of Ditko's,
Oh,
which
well,
makes sense. I think he.
well, it's cool. He was corresponding, though.
Yeah. So there we go. Good one, Giles. A lot of horse hoof stomping.
Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of hoof stomping, let's not tease it any longer. I know everyone's been waiting for it. It's time for the second break. You're not even going to jump at it.
Get the inside scoop on everything happening at the experience every week. Join our mailing list by scanning the QR code at the bottom of the screen and then watching your email inbox.
Imagine being at a convention and going to an interview panel that's just for you. No bustling crowds, no hours-long lines, just you, the moderator, and your favorite comic book creators. Well, this is pretty much that. Miss Jen sits down every week with 2 comic book creators for a live stream interview about their latest work, and you can ask them whatever you want. It's Talking Shop, Mondays at 5 Eastern on The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales. You just finished the last episode of your favorite new show, and you just have to talk about it. But all your friends are ghosting you because of that incident last week at the buffet. Oh, you know the one. What you did to that chowder. Ugh. Keeps me up at night. So what do? Join writer Dan Wickline as he breaks down all your favorite pop culture media. Whether it's a review of the latest nerdy TV show or a dive back into the history of your favorite comic characters, Dan's ready to discuss all the hottest topics live. Join the conversation as Dan live streams Tuesday through Thursday at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. The Dan Wickline Show on The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales.
Who would win, Batman or Superman? It's the age-old debate, except it's so much more complicated than that. Nerd Killer Warfare every week on The Experience is your chance to debate other nerds in the questions we've all been asking for years, except we take those debates and turn them up to 11. Go to bit.ly/EXP casting or scan the QR code to be part of the show.
Hi, my name is Brian Phillipson, co-writer on Weed Magic and co-founder of Bliss on Tap Publishing and home of Duel, and you're watching The Experience.
We had a whole thing, it didn't work. We're not going to.
Hey, it's Philly.
All right, real quick, I did get a phone call during the break. If there's anybody out there who's watching that is having difficulty interacting in the chat, I apologize. I'm a Luddite. I don't know how to fix the problem per se, but if there's any issues or what have you, you can always give us a call. Our number here is 215-963-0788. Yeah, I hope that helps in some form or another. Let's think, what else do I have to do before we try to sell comics? I have to really make it up to Mike. So I gotta, what you go? Well, shut that up. Have you
just
seen
start
that?
right now. Yes.
Did you read it?
No, I have not.
Did you pick it up, or were you curious about it?
I am curious about it.
Okay, so real fast. This is an aftershock. It's a one-shot. Have you ever heard of the idea of a pro wrestling noir with little bit of supernatural, hellish Tales of the Crypt vibes?
No, but I am extremely intrigued.
Well, that is this book. Imagine if The Wrestler wasn't a Darren Aronofsky film, but instead was an episode of Tales from the Crypt. That is that book right there. Hell is a squared circle.
That's awesome.
So, okay. So we do have, all right. Marshall, 14-7.
What quarter?
I don't know. Probably near the end of the first half. All right.
$7.99.
So for anyone who, Lord Zanin is the ultimate hype man. All right, like ultimate. All right, so we did get word from Giles. Giles has let us know that the experience is having issues with messages from Twitter and Facebook. It's been happening all week, which is the beauty of modern technology. It is still made and created and maintained by human beings who are fallible, fools, and idiots, who will all one day be dead. Halloween, I'm allowed to talk about morbid stuff, like the fact that life is finite. This is a drinking game. That's a moment to take a shot. Oh, Brennan brought up death. Oh. You got to have the bourbon lined up for Brennan brings up death, existential ennui, boredom masters depression, and his father. Boom, 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 boom.
Well, you might have to excuse death in the month of October.
Dude, hello. It's about life within death. It's beautiful.
And speaking of death, what's more morbid than a war comic book?
Mr. Bishop, here's Aiden. You are going to learn the faults of running a show like this.
Cool.
Put that book down, my friend, because the chat has brought up a priority.
Okay.
And that priority, why don't you grab 2 Journey into Mysteries that we have up there?
Cool. Wow.
Great cover.
Okay, so here we go. So, all right, so Mr. Bishop, I'll just let you know, these are the Marvel Masterwork Journey into Mysteries from, is it the Atlas era?
Yes.
Okay.
Pre-code.
Pre-code.
Journey into Mystery number 11 to 20.
All right, so we're talking about 10 issues of Journey into Mystery back when it was pretty much a horror book. Now, these masterworks are quite pricey. The one that is up there is still sealed in its original plastic. It is a $59.99 book. But tonight only, it's going to be $45. All right, so we're going to shave off $15. So now these are gorgeous reproductions of pre-code era Journey into Mysteries.
And this is number 21 to 30.
Okay, so we do have, so it's volume 2 and volume 3 of pre-code era Atlas Comics Journey into Mysteries. Both of these retail for $59.99, but tonight, in the spirit of Halloween, we're selling them for $45. So if you have any interest or any other questions, let us know and we will show them off. Thank you, Mr. Bishop. I appreciate you keeping me kind of on the rail.
Some of the creators to highlight, this is volume 3. Joe Kubert, John Severin, Ree Crandall, and Joe Orlando.
Zeman, you're a wonderful co-host. In an ideal world, we're doing this together every week with Jason over there taking the brunt of our punishment. That's right, Jason. Deal with it, okay? Deal with it.
And in volume 2, Russ Heath, Bill Everett, George Tuska, and Paul Ryan.
God, if I ever heard like a quintessential Atlas pre-code era Marvel artist, it's right there. Tuska. I mean, good Lord.
But I love this cover, Meet the Dead.
It's good, right?
It doesn't get more morbid than that.
Yeah, don't worry. Before the show started, I wandered around the whole shop being like, what's Halloween-y? I got nothing to sell.
Oh,
how can I validate my existence here?
Oh, this is a great cover.
I'll show that off, man.
Stuff of Nightmares.
Are you aware of who wrote that?
R.L. Stein.
Yeah, it's a pretty fun book. Okay, so pretty much in the same week, which is about, I think, 2 weeks ago, we got 2 anthology series. R.L. Stein's Stuff of Nightmares and the new Creep Show, which is right here. Now, these are all like cover price. Now, that is a 1 in 10 variant of Creep Show. We actually sold out of the regular covers of Creep Show. Chris Burnham does a gorgeous cover on one of them. But that is the variant for Creep Show number 1. And obviously, Zanin showed off the Stuff of Nightmares, which was the recent R.L. Stein mature readers horror anthology. Both are fun. Now, again, when it comes to anthologies, they're not going to change your world. It's just they're enjoyable. They get you in the mood. Again, like, we can't always read Watchmen every time we read a comic book, okay?
Which is a scary book in itself.
I know. But there are times where people are like, it was okay. I'm like, what do you mean it was okay? And they're like, well, I mean, like, I enjoyed enjoyed reading it, and the art was cool, but like I didn't feel like writing a review about it on Facebook. I'm like, what? You said you enjoyed it and the art was cool. That is like the greatest compliment next to I can't wait to read the next issue you can give to a comic book that is coming out monthly.
As far as classics and masterpieces go,
Mr. Turner, 1410. But go on, Zane.
I take the attitude of Don Draper.
All right.
In one of his campaigns, he was explaining to the client for his innovative approach to the campaign, look, it's not religion. I'm not here to tell you or sell you on the virtues of Jesus Christ. Either you're a believer or you're not a believer.
Did we bond over Mad Men?
Yes, we have.
Is that when we became friends? We talked about it was Mad Men.
Yeah, it must have been like Mad Men. That was like,
because you were like one of the very few people who like, I hate to use the term got something, but like appreciated Mad Men the way like I was at the time.
The first episode, the pilot episode, when I watched it, it just turned my head backwards because of the way that it actually transported you into 1960.
Yes.
The style, the attitudes, and the language.
And again, it has one of the truest interpretations of two people taking acid for the very first time without getting into the stupid tropes of, trippy colors. No. It's time displacement, dissociative feelings.
Great series, man.
Cowboys are up 16-10. They're playing the Rams, right?
Yes.
Rams are frauds. Frauds, man.
Give back that Lombardi now.
No, I mean, you can never take it back. They're good for them, but the frauds. 2018 Eagles, all right? Until St. Nick came back. Oh, boy. All right. I keep saying we sell comics. Trademark. We sell very little. So, real quick.
We can get to this.
Let's talk about this real fast. So, Bruce Campbell wrote a wonderful, fun series illustrated by none other than Eduardo Rizzo of 100 Bullets fame, one of my favorite artists.
Cool.
This is Sergeant Rock and Ash versus the Army of the Dead. It's as simple as that. And again, comics are meant to be fun. And trust me, I can stand up here and wax poetically about how comics can save the world. And I do believe that there are a few out there that can and will. But primarily, most comic books should be fun and remind you that we're all just here to have a good time, enjoy one another, share some love, F that hate stuff, and just be happy to be alive. Because trust me, it's only a matter of time until it's over.
It brings up another famous notion in speculative fiction, in which, in the future, ancient literature actually influences society to the way that they base that society on that literature.
What do you think religion is? Sorry. Just so we're clear, we're tiptoeing in with the experience you might be scared about. My overarching life theory that story is more real than we are.
Well, I won't go that far, but I'll just use the old Sean Connery science fiction movie, Zardoz, as an example. Zardoz with a whole system of government and basic religion based on the novel Wizard of Oz.
You do know that on census data in Australia, in your what religion are you? You can choose Jedi. We're there. We're getting there. Jedi will be a religion in the future. Like, it's no doubt.
No.
It'll be dark.
Now it's scaring me.
Yeah, I'm scared too. Same thing with the Cowboys, the Giants, and maybe the Cowboys winning today. It's also scary. Thank God the Commanders are the Commanders. Carson Wentz.
Did they play today?
Yeah, they played the Titans, and they were winning. I'm pretty sure they lost. Now, they could have come back, but they were winning, and the Titans came back. But anyway, we're selling comic books. So anyway, there we go. Written by Bruce Campbell, illustrated by Eduardo Rizzo, Sergeant Rock and Ash versus the Army of Dead, 6-issue limited series.
Actually, this is Night of the Ghoul.
Oh, you moved on to Night of the Ghoul. Okay.
Yes.
Also, more Nazis, more zombies.
Really?
More. Dude, okay. This book's kind of weird. Not that that's okay. First of all, Francis Francavali. If you're not sold on that art, I don't know.
He's an excellent artist. I highly
Especially
recommend
horror
it.
books, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Well, there's a movie that somebody made that might be real, but the movie might be based off of a real event that occurred to a British infantry unit in World War I. You know, in some weird castle.
Okay.
Like, it's a strange book that I have not fully wrapped my head around. Up. Kyle Northrop. Kyle, you're coming in with MC Lars. MC Lars, a guy I
$4.99.
actually know or have met. This is the first time. Rock the Bells. Is that a cover? Run DMC? Or no, LL Cool J. I don't know. Good stuff.
All right. Okay. Bloodstained Teeth.
Bloodstained Teeth. Vampire Neo-Noir. Good fun. This is the collection. Collects, I believe, the first 5 issues of Bloodstained Teeth. Mostly it's the selling point is Christian Ward's artwork. It is gorgeous. I'm trying to think what else is about that book. I probably should have read it before I tried to sell it. You know, Zanin, you know what we need to do, my friend?
What's that?
You are the best co-host that isn't the ghost of Al.
$16.99.
The empty
Great
space
artwork.
that was Jason. Let's do this, man. Let's just sell some comics, brother.
Cool.
You're coming through, so I'm going to give you this responsibility. All right, excuse us as we set up. All right, so here we go. This is a box. $2 horror books and $1 horror books. So let us start.
Here comes a $2.
Oh, you want to start with $2?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So here, so everything in this front end, just pull it out and just show it off.
Oh my God.
Oh, Kyle,
It-
that makes sense.
It doesn't get more horrifying than this.
All right, let's do it. All right. So just so we're clear, all of these books are like mid-grade, VGs, things of that nature. They probably run the gamut of prices from around like $5, $6 to about like $10. But they're all, in terms of the ones that Zanin is going to do until our next break or until we run out of books, they're all $2 each. And here's what we're going to do. If you claim anything from this box, or from this like box of horror books, I'm going to roll an 8-sided die. If you get a 5, I'm going to give you a free comic book. All right? And free comic books consist of Starhenge, Above Snakes, Prodigy, Lonesome Hunters, Rogues Gallery. Who cares? We'll figure it out. Zanin,
It's comics.
go for it, buddy. We sell comics. We sell comics. Trademark.
Haunted horror.
Haunted horror.
And that is real horror.
Now that's a reprint series, right?
Yes.
Okay. And Zanin, you can just cover, just cover up the space. Don't worry about it. Buck Chuck, that's right.
Haunted love.
Haunted love. Man, Birdman's really missing out. Yeah, let's show that off for a moment, really. Dude, that's a great cover. Charlton. It's all nude. All nude haunted love. There we go. All right.
Oh, the not Doctor Strange.
Oh,
Dr.
it's
Graves.
Yay!
Oh, here's another one. Another not Doctor Strange,
Oh,
Dr.
Dr.
Graves.
Graves. There we go.
And it doesn't get more stranger than this. It looks like something right out of Strange Tales.
The Many Ghosts of Dr. Graves.
Dude, isn't it crazy? I mean, just look at him. That is Steve Ditko's Doctor Strange.
Look at that cover.
Yeah. It's Steve Ditko in a nutshell.
Another Many Ghosts of Dr. Graves. And that's a Jim Aparo cover.
That's Jim. Okay.
Another Dr. Graves, Long Distance.
I think I found a lot, didn't I? Yeah.
Oh, this is Ditko. Many Ghosts of Dr. Graves.
Yeah, that's definitely a Ditko cover.
Ghostly Tales. And now, I don't think this guy's Dr. Graves. Kind of looks like it.
Show it off.
But the name of the story is called The Engagement Party.
Oh, okay. All right. Now, do you think two ghosts are getting engaged, or a human is getting engaged to a ghost?
A human is getting engaged to a ghost.
Okay. But not a producer horse, because producer horses are lowly classes that we can never mingle with.
No, it looks like definitely ghosts.
Okay. Because I'm pretty sure producer horses better recognize that there's a difference between creative talent and the producer horse, which should clomp.
Now,
Zainin, we have a claim. Mr. Ebner coming in.
There's one more. Let us know if you want this one also.
All right, so claim ghost. Okay, so all right, so Mr. Ebner, are you claiming all the ghostly tales? Grab all the ghostly tales. Let's see how many we have up there. So let's make sure.
Also ask if that includes the earlier Ghostly Tales, which aren't $2 a piece.
No, it does not. Let's
okay.
From this point forward, unless said otherwise, if anyone's claiming anything from this point forward, I'm pretty sure it is. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 ghostly tales here, Mr. Ebner. So just let me know that you are claiming all 8, and I will roll. No, just the last one. What was the last one you showed? Because I wasn't paying attention.
It was this one.
Show it off.
The Engagement Party.
Oh, you're married. Yes. He said the married ghost one. You got it. All right, so Mr. Ebner, boom. There you are, $2. And let's roll this dice. You got an 8. Sorry, we're looking for a 5. All right. Hey, man, some people want all new ghosts. I don't understand why we're all kink shaming here. Come on, man. We all grew up with Ghostbusters. We don't need to know what ghosts are capable of.
House of Secrets.
All right, House of Secrets, the classic. I'm not MC Escher. Who do you think did that art, that cover? Who's familiar, right?
Not really.
No? Did I make that up?
I'm just going to guess and say Nick Cardy.
I don't even know who that is.
Oh, Nick Cardy. He was a DC cover artist, like 1973, 1974.
Cool. All right, nice. All right, we're moving along.
House of Secrets.
What's going on that cover, Zainin?
It's not like the real horrifying House of Secrets. It's the Saturday morning approved House of Secrets.
Okay. Oh, wait. We got a claim.
Okay.
Was the one before that House of Secrets the House of Secrets?
Yes.
Okay, then that's the one I imagine is being claimed. So, all right. So there we go. Marshall, there is House of Secrets, but...
That's the horrifying House of Secrets.
Yeah. But let's roll this die. Oh, it's a 7. Sorry. You lose.
Also in this House of Secrets is an Eclipso story.
Oh, cool. Nice. All right.
Visit Ghost Manor if you dare.
What do you think the rate is for a night at Ghost Manor for Airbnb? what do you think it goes for? Is it like the Ice Hotel in Finland?
It's $10.
You think it's $10?
Yes.
I think you get a lot more money for an actual. You can guarantee a haunting. I think it's $500 a night. Ghost Manor. Oh yeah, and yes, if it is in LA, it's $1,200 a night. Giles is right.
Well, you will believe in ghosts
I don't believe in ghosts.
especially the specter.
Actually, that's not true. Do you believe in ghosts?
Um,
Let me ask you a better question. Have you ever had experience in your life, let's call it paranormal, that fits with you, of anything out of the normal that you can't explain?
would you count dreams?
No.
Okay.
Only, but even though yes, but for the sake of entertainment, let's just say no, because we get into real murky.
I'm gonna have to go with no.
All right.
I can't think of any instance in my life where I encountered something in my waking life that made me think that it was paranormal.
Okay.
Subconsciously, yes. I've had dreams about dead people I've known.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. And then they came back and interacted with you and talked to you. Okay. We're getting more into the realm that I would say yes, but again, it confuses the issue. But we got a claim. Is there a ghost up there, Zainin?
The one with Spectre?
Nope. It just says ghosts. Oh, is that it?
Yes.
Oh, then that's it. Marshall's coming in and claiming ghosts.
Featuring
All
the Spectre.
right, so that's Marshall. And let's give Marshall a little roll of the die. All right. Boom! Oh, that's a 3. Sorry, Marshall. Still a loser.
Well, here's another ghost.
Nah, I love you, Marshall.
And there's a trend I noticed in these ghost books that they often deal with relationships, romantic relationships, and sometimes border on the sexual nature. This one is called Harem of Hell.
Do you think that ghosts in most narratives are representative of guilt and regret?
Oh, most definitely.
Oh, look at us being all literary and smart. We don't just sell comics. We sell comics and give context to life.
It's like the tale of the murderer who is forced into repenting, being haunted by the murderer's victims.
Okay.
And that's just a manifestation of the murderer's guilt.
All right. It almost feels like guilt and regret is a wasted emotion that gets in the way of our lives.
These humans, they don't understand.
Oh, such fools. Such fools. Good thing we're just a bunch of aliens pretending to be humans.
Oh, and this brings up something I want to bring up.
Still $2.
Yep. I'll introduce this. This is Unknown Worlds. And the figures on there reminded me of a panel I attended in New York.
At the recent New York Comic Con?
Yes, at the recent New York Comic Con.
The one that you have recently come from?
Yes.
What happened at this panel?
I went to the panel for Dan Harmon's new animated show.
Oh, wait, what?
It's called Crapopolis.
Cool.
And it's going to be on Fox. Which he also has some very disparaging things to say about Fox, but I'm wondering, what kind of relationship does he have with Fox?
I don't know, but real quick, before you go on, hand me that Unknown Worlds you just shown because Mr. Ebner has claimed it. All right, boom. Wait, before you continue, let us roll the die one more time for Mr. Ebner. Come on, 5. Come on, 5. It's a 6. I'm sorry. But keep claiming. You'll have a chance. All right.
Tails.
Loser!
Hey. That's only for Jason. All right. The real audience members, we gotta take care of.
Tales of the Unexpected.
What is that?
Tales of the Unexpected.
Okay.
Featuring Space Ranger.
Space Ranger, not to be confused with Space Ghost.
Which is a Jack Schiff creation.
Or Adam Strange. Or Captain Comet.
Who Jack Schiff really hated. Ooh.
Oh my God. We have a new character. Because somebody is officially John McClane. Mr. Ebner, Marshall, you get a free comic for John McClane. I don't even know where you came up with that. Boom. You're getting a copy of Rogues Gallery #1, Marshall, for the coolest character name I've ever heard. John McClane, Jesus.
Timmy the Timid Ghost.
Not to be confused with Casper, because that's the kid that actually murdered Casper, Richie Rich.
This looks like a very interesting title. Strange suspense stories. Definitely Ditko.
Oh, that's Dicko. Yeah. All right.
Julia Schwartz. Strange story or sports stories.
Strange sports.
Oh, yeah, strange sports stories.
Now there's a Schwartz thing?
Yes.
All right. Your Schwartz is as big as mine? I don't know.
I'm sure he got that joke many times.
Well, can we be honest? You know the name Uncle Julia? Yeah. It's about a, yeah, can we be honest, a negative connotation later?
Okay.
Allegedly. Just saying.
And speaking of Adam Strange,
Mr. Snyder,
Adventures.
Mr. Snyder, I wish I had been drinking all day.
And this is a very gorgeous cover. I am sure it's by Mike Kaluta.
That's Kaluta? Yeah. No Kaluta? Oh, nice.
And another issue of Strange Adventures featuring Adam Strange.
Who's Adam Strange? Go on.
Joe Kubert cover.
All right, how about this? All right, you know what? Hold back. We're gonna have some fun. All right, it's break time, and then I guess Giles, this is our final segment, right? We 6:15, and then we go until 6:58. Or am I confusing that? I'm pretty sure it's yes. Okay, so it's break time. So Lord Zanin, please hold back on the beauty that we are going to rock everyone's world with. And Mr. Snyder, don't forget to put out your musical. Whoa! Before we go to break, real quick. One up here was the Kaluta, just the one, right?
Strange Adventures.
All right, so Mr. Snyder, you're getting the Kaluta, but real quick, I got to roll this die. It's a 3, you lose. All right, so don't forget, give us your musical suggestions, and we will see you on the other side of the break while we find out what Zanin thought was so funny.
Join the party. Head over to our link tree to find all the links for everywhere the experience is all the time.
This is The Experience.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hey there, hi there, ho there. You're as welcome as can be.
Hi, I'm Nancy McCann. Welcome to Friday Night Live on The Experience.
Welcome, everybody. It's Fat Jack's Comicrypt. Brendan, Al, Jason, hanging out.
There I am. Welcome back to Kicking It with Henry, folks. I'm your host, Henry Compa. It's great to be here with you guys.
So we are going to talk about books that are in stores this week.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Mishmash.
Hello, and welcome to the Black Comics Universe, presented by Peep Gang Comics.
And you gotta love it that the first people in the minute to skim it are creators.
Up, everybody. Welcome to another Wednesday Warriors. My name is Joey Galvez, and this is my pal Ambrosia.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Space Cadet.
Hey.
What's up?
Welcome, everyone, for another episode of I Must Ask You a Question.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Nerd News Now.
Hey, this is Rex. Welcome to Comic Collectibles.
Hey, hello, all you happy people. Welcome to the Dan Wickline Show.
Hi, everybody, and welcome. This is the crazy show that we do on Thursdays called What's in the Box?
What's in the box?
Comic culture and sales.
Hey everybody, I'm David Boer, the writer of Kanto, Killer Queens, and All New Firefly, and you are watching The Experience.
You're Brendan.
Ah, thank you. Speaking of which, no. I've gotten a few comments on Instagram. I don't say my name enough, so let the secret be known. Yes, my name is Terry Onions. Thank you very much.
Brendan the Solitary.
But don't forget, Terry Onions Esquire. Okay? All right, don't forget. Don't gotta show some respect. I worked really hard. I went to school for a long time to get that ESQ at the back of my name. And you better believe with a name like Terry Onions, it wasn't easy. By the way, the chat is having an argument right now. Is your shirt supposed to have another S?
Where?
I don't know. Mr. Snyder, David Snyder himself, is saying you're missing an S. Commandos, plural?
No, it's just one singular. Suicide Commando.
He might be confusing it with a bluegrass band from 1963 that only played in Romania. Snyder has super music knowledge.
Is that right?
No, I completely made it up.
Because I'm wondering, wow, maybe the person who's named this group was influenced by that group.
And thank you, Giles. I am the first of my name. And trust me, one day, the world will quake at the mention of Terry Onions Esquire. All right?
Now, that sounds like a Dan Harmon show. But
trademark.
Really quick, new Dan Harmon show, Crapopolis, very funny. Plotting and pacing is a lot along the lines of Rick and Morty. And they were kind of vague about when it's going to air. It's going to be on Fox. And they were disparaging Fox as being just known as the football network because their show is going to premiere after some random football game that they're not exactly certain whether or not it's going to be the Thanksgiving game, the playoffs in January, or the Super Bowl. But Crapopolis will premiere after a football game.
Real quick, speaking of cheaters, anyway, Mr. Ebner, I will never cheat. I will never lie to you as an audience. Every time I roll this dice, if you need Lord Zanin himself to...
Yes, it is random. All of it is random chance.
Trust me, I am figuring this out as I go along. This might not be the right way to do this. All right, so Zanin, let's try something different because this technically is our last segment, and I'm pretty sure Mike is not happy with me. So, just show off the next couple books, and it's all you, Zanin.
I cannot understand why they would name this character this. And when I was a few years ago, I used to produce a zine, and we did a parody of this comic, and it was named by the very politically incorrect title of Spook, the Black Ghost. Because if you're going to use a name like this, you've got to be ethnically correct. If it's going to be spooky, he has to be a black ghost.
All right, Mr. Ebner, there are how many spookies?
3.
There's 3, Mr. Ebner. So let us know if you're interested in all 3, or if you want one of show off all 3 again.
One is older than the rest.
1, 2,
and this is the oldest one.
3. All right, so throw up the spookies. Mr. Ebner's got a claim on all 3 until he lets me know. And then we'll roll the dice 3 times if he claims all 3.
Okay, and...
Oh, he is taking all 3. Mr. Ebner, John McClane is yippee-ki-yay. Don't worry, Giles. I'm with you, brothers. I'm not here to make... I cut my nose off to spite my face, but I won't do that to you.
And even though it's politically incorrect, it is a product of its time.
Real quick. Did Casper hang out with Spooky?
Yes.
He did, right?
Yes.
Was Spooky a complete bully to Casper?
Actually, no, but he spoke with a Brooklyn accent.
Real quick, show off Spooky again real fast. Okay. Is Spooky a child? Was he a little rascal? Was he like a racist little rascal?
I would say he was more or less a teenager.
So Spooky was a teenager?
Yes.
And Spooky and Casper had a relationship with one another? Is it a relationship that teenagers in Stephen King novels, like in It, have with one another?
You know, I never really thought about it, but it's a possibility.
Is it possible that Spooky should be, let's call him, canceled?
Yes, and in fact, Spooky has been canceled.
All right, but it doesn't matter because Mr. Ebner is maintaining a piece of history. He's claiming all three Spookies. But before we move on, did you know Spooky founded the first incel message board?
No.
It was on CompuServe back in 1991.
I did not.
A 5! Oh my God!
Yay!
First roll!
You're a winner.
Oh, good Lord! All right, Mr. Ebner, there's something wrong with Patrick Todd, #1. That is going to my boy E squared. No, that's kind of. We'll have to come up. No, John McClane. I've already forgotten. Damn it. John McClane is coming in, getting himself a free. But wait, we got 2 more rolls. A 6 and a 6. Sorry. You're lucky it wasn't trip 6.
Okay, now this is 3-dimensional seduction of the innocent. I'm not certain whether or not the glasses are included.
Dude, that's a rights and cover. They're not included.
Oh.
That's a rights and cover, man.
Yes.
Yeah. You can't try to sell a $2 book and not mention it's rights and cover.
My bad.
If it's going to sell.
House of Secrets.
All right.
Monster Hunters. Bad job on the logo. It's hard to make out.
What was that the company that Charlton became?
Actually, Modern Comics
or like
was,
reprinted?
Yeah, they were Charlton's reprint branch.
Okay. All right. Man, you learn something new here on this show every day.
That's a better logo. Monster Hunters.
Right.
Midnight Mystery. And I was involved in one of those last night.
Oh, we're going to hear about it in one moment.
And Secrets of the Sinister House. Now, initially, when I glanced at the cover, and not to say that my mind is in the gutter, but it appeared as if the woman was sitting on the toilet.
She probably was. Look, now I'm like cool Frank Miller. I'm a young, talentless hipster Frank Miller.
And to his credit, he looked a lot better physically than he did when I saw him 5 years ago.
I hope so. All right, so are there still $2 books?
These are still $2 books.
Okay, so whoa, Mr. Siegel over here is grab. Okay, yeah, wait, hold on. So grab the what was it? Secret House SS?
Yeah, Secrets of Sinister House.
Yeah. Okay, grab that real fast, and let's also tell Giles you have every right to refer to me as a goth Corey Feldman, because for tonight, that is exactly who I am.
I have every right to refer to him as a goth Corey Feldman.
Yeah, I'm GCF. Kids love acronyms. GCF.
Okay.
The GCF, like the BFG.
Yes.
You know, I'm the new Roald Dahl. If Roald Dahl had like a grandson who wrote terrible children's literature,
which would be awesome in itself.
I am now the GCF, the goth Corey Feldman.
And not only that, write like his father's books through like a cynical eye, you know, just taking things like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
No, you're so right. So right. All right. So real quick, so Marshall here. Robot Marshall, calm the hell down, okay? It's real Marshall we're talking to. No, man, except just bitching at me a lot of times. You know who doesn't yell at me? The Ghost of Al, okay? Even Jason's being quiet, and he's just a big preening peacock. Oh, man. See, I tell you, man, you hang out here enough times, you'll go crazy like me.
Hey, you can dress him up, but you can't take him out.
I mean, you should listen to Rolling sometimes.
Secrets of the Haunted House.
Oh, whoa. Mr. Marshall is also claiming the other secret house. All right, there you go.
And there are a few more.
Oh. All right, there's another. Throw it up there. We got 2 rolls on the Marshall. So there's all the secret houses?
Yep.
All right, still burning through them? Okay.
Yep.
He's claimed 2, so I have to roll twice.
That's it.
That's it. Okay. All right, Marshall hasn't claimed any more. So now it's time to roll 3. And all right, it rolled out of the box, so it doesn't count. A 7. Sorry, Marshall. Do I look like cool Stevie Nicks?
Loser.
Mixed with Elvis Costello?
Not exactly.
No.
But
Imagine.
you do have that Frank Miller look, though.
It's scary, dude. Considering the amount of whiskey that I drink.
Well, just trim your beard, man.
I keep meaning to trim it, and I don't. Screw it. I should just keep droning it out.
Yes, Frank Miller. Here you go.
Just complete talentless Frank Miller.
Hey, you could probably walk into the studio and they would turn to you and say, "Hey, Frank, you're here early."
Okay, so real quick, it's 6:30. Here, hold that book up for a moment. Giles, do we have? I lost my little sheet. Do we have another break until 6:58? Is that right now? Or 6:45? Okay. So are we going until the end? Man, this horse always neighing. All right, we're good till the end. All right. So with that said,
Haunted Library.
Zane in here is going to just start holding up books, and he's going to start
Haunted Library.
telling us the story.
Oh, cool. Okay, we're done with the $2 books.
All right, we're done with 2. So now we're going to move
This
on.
is it for $2.
Okay. Now we're moving on to $1. So don't overthink it, Zanin.
Okay.
Just tell us a wonderful story as you hold up books.
Last night, coming back from New York from Comic-Con, I was fashionably late. And when I got to Trenton, I discovered that SEPTA no longer runs a midnight train from Trenton to Philadelphia. So I was, in essence, stranded in Trenton. Joe Kubert cover.
So you're stranded in Trenton at what time of night?
This is like 11:45.
11:45. All right.
And my first inclination was to eat. I hadn't had anything to eat. So before I left New York, and this was something very important that I learned during New York Comic-Con, Five Guys burgers taste better than Shake Shack.
No, Five Guys is much better than Shake Shack. Yeah. It's like that anywhere.
Many Ghosts of Dr. Graves.
We're back to
and
what do we call them? Cheap Doctor Strange?
Yeah, this is a reprint of something that we showed earlier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is definitely a reprint. In fact, it even says it on the cover, a Charlton classic.
Ooh. Okay, real quick. Is Charlton allowed to say they have classics?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I would say so. They had been in the publishing for many, many years. Unfortunately, mismanagement destroyed the company towards the end, of course.
Do you think that's what's going to happen to DC? You excited about anything DC's putting out that Tom King isn't writing?
Actually, no. And it's reflective in the panels that I attended.
All right, real quick, before we get to the personal, I'm curious about this. Tell me more about some of the panels. Tell me more about the New York Comic Con itself. So how'd you feel about the panels?
I went to a couple DC panels. There was one for the multiverse and one for Superman. And, you know, I really didn't get the impression that the creators were enthusiastic about their upcoming projects.
Okay. When's the last time, because you have told me a story a couple years ago, a year or two or so, where like it felt like the creators were excited about the projects they were about to start working on.
Yes.
When was that?
Man, that was pre-pandemic. You know, that, and not to disparage Dan DiDio at all, but he had a penchant for being enthusiastic about projects.
Okay.
And one
I think, underrated area in which they attempted to branch out their books was.
I'm talking to the chat while listening to you.
Was The Age of Heroes.
Okay.
I thought it was it was a very innovative push for them.
All right.
Unfortunately, the only book that survived from the entire cancellation of the project was The Terrifics.
Okay.
Which I thought was a great book in the beginning, but then it turned into a hack book at the end.
Was Ivan Rice drawing it the entire time?
No.
Oh, real quick. All right. We're just off the rails. You know, who cares? I want to talk
All
real
horror
fast.
issue.
You read Jeff Johns and Gary Frank's Geiger, right?
Yes.
Okay, because I saw that you had Junkyard Joe.
Yes.
The first issue. Okay, did you pick up the 80-page giant? The Geiger 80-page giant?
Yes.
Okay. Are you digging
House of Secrets?
that series and universe?
Yes.
Dude, I gotta be honest. I missed out on the first 2 issues of Geiger.
Very topical. Halloween horror.
Dude, I'm kind of vibing on it. And I read Junkyard Joe #1. I don't want to say too much because you're about to, whenever you pick it up, you'll read it. Dude, Gary Frank, man, good for you, dude. You are a beast of an artist.
That is a weird cover.
What are you talking about? What's weird about it?
Attack of the Mutant Monster.
That's not Godzilla.
Here's a House of Mystery. It is definitely.
Whoa! John McClane, officially. That's how good. Mr. Ebner. He just. John McClane. I love it. Marshall, I don't know how to reward you, dude. I'll have to figure it out. John McClane. All right, do we have a Halloween horror up there? Oh, okay. Halloween horror. So Mr. McClane claiming it. Cool. So real quick, we got to give him a roll the dice. All right. An 80. Oh, John. Not tonight.
House of Mystery. When it was not horror, but science fiction.
Okay, all right.
From Beyond the Unknown. When it was not horror, but science fiction.
What are the panels did you have the opportunity to check out? What panels excited you?
Dan Harmon's panel.
Oh, okay, all right.
That was great. Like I said, I like what I saw of Crepopolis. Yeah, very quickly, the premise takes place in ancient Greece. The main character is a demigod who is having mother issues with his mother, who is an actual goddess. And
wait, time out. Dan Harmon is creating a show about mommy issues? I don't believe it. That does not sound like Dan Harmon. Now, make the goddess a redhead, and I don't believe that Dan Harmon is absolutely involved in this at all.
I believe she is a redhead.
I know. Dude, I didn't even have to guess. I would have put down easy money.
The goddess name is Deliria, and she is very domineering to her son, who is endeavoring to create what we know as civilization.
Okay. So it's a broken little boy creator?
Yes.
That doesn't sound like Dan Harmon. Are you sure he's helping to create this show? Because none of that tracks.
Well, from what I saw, I liked it.
Okay. What's the is the art style Rick and Morty-ish, like Justin Roiland's art style, or are they creating a new kind of aesthetic?
It's kind of a new aesthetic.
Okay.
It kind of harkens to Rick and Morty, but it's on a Fox budget.
Okay, got it. Oh, real quick, I need to know this. So when you're stuck in Trenton, do they conscript you into the Dunkin' Donuts mines, and are you issued a pork roll and a, I'm not allowed to say it, tank top? Real quick, Dunkin' Donuts is New England and Boston, not Philly or Jersey. What would be the equivalent in Jersey? 7-Eleven?
You know, I was almost trapped into that because the Dunkin' Donuts was still open.
Good Lord. Then I'm wrong. Giles over here showing off. It's also a smart horse. Who would have saw that coming?
But and speaking of
the Wawa. Okay, the Wawa.
There's Casper. You had Spooky. You have to follow it up with Casper.
Oh, Casper. What a tragic little boy. What a tragic life. I mean, just wasn't loved by his mother or father.
Well,
passed around with their friends.
There was the infamous Marvel parody.
As babysitters, stop! Get your minds out of the gutter.
There was the infamous.
Whoa! John McClane is keeping up with his namesake. I'm so sorry, Zanin.
That's okay.
But this is what it is when doing a show like this.
We sell comics.
We sell comics. We are claiming the Caspers. Just the one?
Just the one.
All right. Throw that over to me. All right. We gotta do a quick roll of the die to see if John over here is also winning a book. An 8. Sorry, John. Mr. You gotta go back and I hope Miss McClain isn't dropping those divorce papers in the mail and instead has a warm bed waiting for you to deal with the tragedy of not winning whatever stupid thing I came up with to give away free comics.
Well, here's another chance. This is Harvey Team Up, Richie Rich, and Casper.
Oh, that's the multiverse team up where Casper goes back to the past to find himself when he was a real life boy before he was murdered by his butler.
And there was an infamous Marvel parody, I think it was like 73 or 74, in Crazy Magazine called Casper the Dead Baby.
And of course there was.
Oh, we're back to Monster Hunters.
Monster Hunters, all right. We can't go long without Monster Hunters.
And the original Monster Hunters. Monster Menace. Beware the Moon Beast.
The Moon Beast?
Kind of looks like a Sin City cover.
It does, yeah.
Outer Space.
Is that horror? Did somebody who curated all these books, did he mess up?
Well, it looks like the eel face man on the cover might qualify as horror.
Does sci-fi horror count as horror?
Yes,
or
it
is
does.
someone bad at their job?
Yes, it does. We're back to Secrets of the Haunted House.
Secrets? What secrets do you think the haunted house has?
Everything published in this comic is inventory. We have no longer commissioned any new artwork for this book.
Is that really what that was?
Yes, it was.
It was just like, can we just go back and see what we have rights to and then just reprint it?
Yeah, because the book wasn't pulling in any commerce.
Okay.
So they stopped commissioning work and they just printed inventory stories.
Really? So, okay. But were they inventory stories? Were they printed for the first time in that book? Okay,
they were printed for the first time.
So they weren't reprints. It was just they had already paid for a bunch of work they didn't like.
Well, it wasn't so much that. DC's horror books were their bread and butter in the 1970s. Towards the end of the decade, a lot of them were starting to get axed. And they just had...
They had to burn through.
Yes.
Okay, because they're always buying ahead of time.
Yes.
Because they don't know and okay, that makes complete sense. Okay.
And they eventually withered in 82 or 83. Scary Tales.
Why do you think it took that long?
It's DC.
It's DC, man.
At that time, it was more or less Saul Harrison. Even though Jeanette Kahn was like...
she was beginning.
Yeah, she was like vice president or something like that. It was like an executive position.
Okay.
But Saul Harrison, he was hanging on for dear life because he felt as though he should have been named publisher after Carmine Infantino was pushed out of the comic.
Okay.
You know, longevity and everything like that.
Of course, yeah. And the fact that he had no retirement. And he just had the void waiting for him. A bunch of children he barely knew. A wife he hadn't seen in years.
And they did have a party.
Oh, wait. I'm so sorry, Zanin. We have to interrupt. Because McClain is McClaimin. It's time to give us Scary Tales. All right, Scary Tales. There we go. And it's a newsstand.
Now, yeah, there's another Scary Tales up here. I don't know whether or not.
Oh,
you
yeah,
want that
yeah,
one
yeah.
also.
Oh, yeah, yeah. We gotta point that out. Sorry, here. Why don't you show off both? Make sure Mr. McClain over here is, if he's claiming one or the other.
This is Scary Tales, The Gift to the Gifford.
Let's call that red.
And this is Scary Tales, An Act of Treason.
And let's call that green. Or just both.
I'm sorry.
They're all dollar. We're in the dollar range.
$1.
All right. So am I rolling the dice once or am I rolling the dice twice? I don't know. Go on with your tale while we wait for John to claim.
Okay.
I'll hold both.
About
the red one. No, wait, sorry. Okay, so all right, so throw that one up there. We're claiming the red one. There we go. And we're rolling the dice once. Here we go. Boom. 7. It's a 7.
But
we're all going to heaven.
There's still more chances. Purple Claw Mysteries.
Ah, okay.
The Woman with Many Eyes. Pulp Horror.
Pulp Horror?
Which more or less is a reprint book.
What do you think it's a reprint of?
ACG. One of those books that we sold earlier. They specialize in these weird tales like Marvel did back in the late 50s.
Okay. Can you think of any artists or writers that anybody would know who might have worked on some of those books?
No.
Off the top of your head? Okay.
Out of the Night.
Some more dollar books. Out of the night.
Reptosaurus the Terrible.
Reptosaurus rules! I have no idea who the hell that is.
And it looks like awesome dinosaur action.
Yeah. What kind of dinosaur action do you think awesome constitutes?
Well,
action is a very amorphous word.
Basically, dinosaur fighting humans.
Oh, okay. All right. Yes, Giles, you can be the terrible. Lord Zanin decrees, for this time only, you can change your name.
Okay, here's a good one. It's a Marvel book.
Oh, whoa,
where monsters dwell.
Sorry. All right. John himself is claiming Out of the Night. Do we have an Out of the Night up there? All right. Out of the Night. That is creepy. That almost looks like a John Bolton. Is that like Christopher Lee if he was a goth?
It actually looks like an old pulp cover being reworked just for the purpose of
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. But it gets us another roll the die.
Cool.
Roll the die. A 3. Sorry. Moving on.
Loser.
Marvel's Where Monsters Dwell.
Ooh, got some Marvel monsters up there.
Okay, we're back to Timmy, the Timid Ghost. Put that up there with Casper.
Real quick. How do you think Timmy died?
Well,
how do you get the...
I think it was like some sort of farming accident. You know, he's kind of timid, so he probably like ran away from something that he was really terrified of and got caught up in the thrasher or got caught under a tractor.
Right, meaning he ran from his father. Right, we just grabbed the belt. Timmy had to choose which belt. And he finally reached the point where he couldn't take it anymore and he ran. And the thresher was out there.
And according to this comic, he's still running.
Here we go. All right, first of all, we got bad news, Zanin. It's tied 17-17 in the fourth quarter, but let's not give up hope. Timmy definitely died of consumption. And John McClane is claiming the Marvel and Timmy books. All right, so
Where Monsters Dwell.
All right, that's one.
And here's Timmy the Timid Ghost.
All right, and the two of them.
Yes.
All right, all right. He said books plural. All right, so that's. Oh, now we have 3 rolls of the die. My friend. 3 rolls. Boom. A 7. A 6. And a 4. Around the 5. All right, moving on.
Strange Worlds. Classic tales of science fiction.
All right.
Strange suspense stories.
Good fun.
Strange sports stories.
Oh, we're back to that. Well, what sports are they playing on the cover?
Okay, Satan is a pitcher for a baseball team.
Makes sense.
And what was the secret of the odd little man who always bowled perfect 300 games?
We don't need to know that secret because I'm pretty sure he's going to Weinstein us.
Okay, I own this. This was a good issue. Adam Strange Adventures.
Ooh. Show that off the cover again. What's going on there? Is that a blockhead?
Yes, and if anyone is familiar with Tom King's Adam Strange series, you always have to take these adventures now with a grain of salt.
It's very, very dark. Yeah. The old Adam Strange stories really took on a new flavor.
In fact, this looks like an issue ripped from that series. Adam Strange Adventures 221.
Ooh. Who do you think that artist is? Dick Giordano?
No. In fact, it's marked on the cover is Murphy Anderson.
Murphy Anderson.
Yeah.
Okay.
At that time, he was doing Adam Strange.
Got it. Did Neil Adams ever do? Oh, we got a claim. John keeping up with his namesake, McClayman. All right, so he's taking the Adam Strange.
Which one?
Which one? Let's go with the first one, unless he wants the second one. Pretty sure the one we were talking about the most was this one, so I'm going to assume it's this one unless otherwise noted. But let's just roll this dice real quick. Boom, it's a 4. I should have picked a better number. I think 5 has only come up like once or twice.
I am showing this.
Over. Keep that thought. Give me the other Adam Strange. Let's roll the dice real fast. And then Zane. Oh, it's a 3. Now, Zanen, show it.
I am showing this under
duress.
Yes. Spooky and Spooktown.
Real quick. Where's that Gotham City one issue? Hold on. Real quick. Excuse me a moment. This comic contains language of a racially offensive nature and may not be suitable of all age groups.
Harvey. You were just too funny for your own good.
Couldn't help yourself. We're getting another claim. Spooky's getting claimed.
Spooky and Spooktown.
There you go. We all need context in life, and we got another roll to die. It's a 5! Whoa! Oh, you're going to get a copy of There you go, John McClane. Spooky came through in his spooky way. All right. Okay, so Zanen, we're running out of time. So
okay, skeleton in. I'll be very quick.
Okay, show them off, and then we want to hear the end of your Trenton story.
Seduction of the Innocent. Looks like Mandrake. Seduction of the Innocent.
And the final book of the night.
Seduction of the Innocent.
I wonder where that title came from.
Thank you, Fred Wortham.
Yeah, so with that said, Zanen, we have a few minutes left of the night. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us. Let us hear the end of the Trenton Wasteland story.
Well, after I had eaten, actually, in the middle of eating, I was on the platform because...
Where were you eating again?
I was in Trenton on the platform of the train because I didn't want to eat inside. If anyone has ever been to Trenton, especially at night, you know that there are massive gatherings of homeless people. And there was a large gathering in the interior of the station. So I didn't want to pull out food because I knew it would turn into an episode of The Walking Dead.
Like seagulls on a beach?
Yes. So I ate outside in the cold and started to contemplate my next steps. And I only had very few choices. The only one that was coming to mind immediately was that the next SEPTA train was at 5:53 this morning. Okay. And I was thinking, should I stay here at the station until 5:53? But walking inside the station, I didn't want to be inside because if I fell asleep, I had my bag with me and I also had my camera in my bag. So I didn't want to chance anything like that.
Sure, yeah.
Another train arrived from New York, and I immediately, the idea came into my head that I might not be the only person who is stuck out here.
Stranded.
So maybe I'll see if there's other people who need to get to Philadelphia, and maybe we can pool together and get an Uber or a taxi.
So is this the 21st century version of the Warriors?
Yes. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. My only other option was to get a cab myself and just front the $155 to get back to Philadelphia. Because at that point, I was willing to pay that much money just so I can sleep in my own bed.
So what's the resolution?
So after I had eaten, I walked up into the station
to gauge the crowd to see if anybody else was going to Philadelphia. Okay. I walked outside of the station and I wanted to see whether or not there were like any waiting vehicles or taxis. Right. And this other guy was pointing over to a train in the distance. And in the distance. Yes, it was like that. And the train was the Riverview train. Are you familiar with that train?
Yes. Down the Delaware River on the New Jersey side?
Yes.
Yeah, and it takes you to a SEPTA stopper.
Yes.
The speed line.
And
there you go.
I didn't know what it was until I got right up on the train.
Yeah.
And I asked one of the people, where's this train going? He said, oh, it's going to Camden. So I'm actually
hey, man, there ain't nothing like escaping train and going to Camden.
So after some difficulty getting a ticket, I got onto the Riverview train, and we take off. And at this point, it's midnight. Okay. And we're going through South Jersey in the complete dark. I do not know where I'm going. I do not know where I am. But I know at least if I got to Camden, it would be a lot closer than Trenton to take a taxi back to Philadelphia.
you got a point there.
And so my options were get a cab when I got to Camden, you know, if at all possible. Mm-hmm. See if I can get on the New Jersey Transit train if it was still running. Right. Or actually making my way to the Ben Franklin Bridge
and then
walking across the bridge.
Walking home, yes.
So when I got off the train, one of the people that I helped secure a ticket, I asked him, you know, where do I go to get like the New Jersey Transit train to Philadelphia? And he said, oh, right there across the street. And I was like, wow, it's that close? I don't have to like run through a gauntlet or anything like that.
That might be too good to be true.
I thought that too. So I went to the train station, purchased a ticket, only was accosted by a couple of homeless people.
Only a couple.
And when I got down to the platform, it was like everything was beginning to fall into line. It was 103, and the next train was at 116. And it was actually still running.
Nothing like the speed line.
Got back to Philadelphia. When I got out.
Where'd you get at? Like 15th, 16th and Locust?
No, I got off at 8th Street.
Okay, so you could then get to the...
I was with the intention of catching the 21 bus to West Philadelphia.
Oh, by the way, just in case anyone who is not familiar with Philadelphia public transportation, it's the most expensive in the country and might be the worst.
Yes, but to their credit, when I got on that New Jersey Transit train, I think I was the only person who was not homeless. Although there was another guy, he looked like he was on his way to work. It looked like he worked at the airport, the Philadelphia airport. Okay. But everybody else on that train was homeless.
Hey, man.
They were knocked out.
Got to sleep somewhere.
Yes.
As a kid who ran away a lot when I was younger, you really do find some interesting places to sleep.
And see, I thought the same thing in Trenton. I thought immediately, I am now homeless. I cannot get to my home unless I spend like large sums of money.
There, but for the grace of God, go you.
Yes.
Zayden.
And in fact, when I got to the bus stop.
So, humbling experience?
Yes. When I got to the bus stop, there was a homeless person who was there to accost me. Because I did not have any cigarettes and I would not give him any money. But then he backed off after a while, and then he apologized for his behavior and explained it was like due to the like influx of alcohol in the system.
That is a level of self-awareness I was not expecting. And I got to say, that's how we end the story. You did get home safely.
I got home. It was maybe about 30 or 40 minutes later than if I had actually caught the Trenton-Philadelphia train.
Right.
But I got home in one piece, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
And now I know a different way to get back to Philadelphia from Trenton.
Nice.
And the moral of the story is, if you're in a really bad situation, don't panic. The solution will present itself to you.
Right, especially all of those spoiled little children that never understood the nature of this story because they've never in their adult life not had a car.
And at 1 year, I was almost stranded in New York City.
I remember this story.
The train had broken down in the tunnel, and they couldn't move the train, so they just canceled train service into the tunnel.
There's the start of an origin story to a comic book series, and it's you trying to get home from New York with your buddy, let's call him Del, and the two of you decide that you're really hungry and the only thing you can eat is a burrito out of the back of somebody's minivan in a Walmart Brooklyn parking lot, and that burrito gives you both the powers that will change your life forevermore if you didn't die.
It makes me wonder too, that incident in which I was almost stranded in New York, what would that night have been like if I was with Trump?
Let us, on that note, thank everybody for hanging out with us tonight. Thank you, Zanin, for hanging out. This has been a blast.
Hey, it's been fun for me. And Trell, if you're watching this later, you're still a great friend, man.
On that note, Johns McClain, thank you for showing up and letting us all know that you are the legend that you truly are. Eagles, you better pull this out. I really need something to look forward to when I get home. And everyone's already asleep, and I'm by myself, and I can't sleep at night because Roland is a complete and utter wet rag when he's trying to create mixes like right here. Thank you, everybody, for all of that. We will be back next week. I might be literally by myself.
Oh,
and
okay.
I might go crazy.
Well, I'll call in.
Excellent.
Put me on the phone line.
I'll try, man. On that note,
and before you leave, guys, I just want to say November 8th. Everybody get out there and vote.
Oh, yeah,
it's your right. You should exercise it. November 8th. Please, please, please vote.
Yes, it wasn't me who said it. On that note, take care, everyone. Have a wonderful week. Be well. Peace.
Get the inside scoop on everything happening at the Experience every week. Join our mailing list by scanning the QR code at the bottom of the screen and then watching your email inbox.